Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for this match reaction to Chelsea, to Everton, we will be going through everything in and around that game. I was at the game yesterday as well, so lots to get into. Another weird performance, when I say. We're going to get into it, obviously, and talk about the overall game, what we felt, how we felt about it as well. So lots to get into. So in the meantime, please smash the likes as always. Subscribe to both GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV as well. And yeah, guys, let's get into it. Let's see how we get on with things. And let's cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you are across the world. I was meant to have uploaded a video, but I forgot to do it. Oh, no. I wonder if I can do it quickly while people are coming in. Big up to every single one of you guys that are currently here at the moment. I hope you guys are well. Chelsea going into a... 2 seconds, guys. I'm just trying to sort something out. Chelsea going into the international break, playing Everton on the back of 3 wins. And all we wanted as fans was a win. All we wanted to see was a win. And did we get it? I'm trying to get this video, guys. If you think I'm just annoying you, sorry, I'm not. I'm just trying to get this video done so that I can share it with you guys, obviously. So bear with me 2 seconds. Save it here. Go into here. Here we go. Hopefully this will work now. Log into here. I will be with you 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. Oh. I don't think I'm going to be able to speak until... 1 second. I'm just uploading something for you guys. So, yeah, big up to every single one of you. Sorry, guys, that I'm a little bit quiet at the moment. I'm just trying to start a video for you guys. The subs cost us the whole game. Yeah, some people feel annoyed about the subs. I hear you, bro. I hear the frustration in many ways. Big up to M3 as well. Says frustrated with just a pot of subs. All right, a head scratch. It wasn't just pot of subs though, guys. It was more than just pot of subs yesterday. You know, it was more than that. Hoodie, big up to you. Says defending 1-0 in every match and Gallagher in the 60th minute. This is what famous Potterable is all about. Well, it worked against Leicester. It worked to get Leicester, and it's part of the reason why he done it again. I don't think the whole thing of Conor Gallagher coming off on the pitch was the issue, in my opinion. I can understand why he took Pulisic off as well, not having many minutes anyway. So there's more to it. We'll get into it anyway. Big up to Undertaker CFC. Nice to see you in the house as well, my man. Big up to Corey as well. Nice to see you, bro. Hope you're well. Half splendid. Nice to see you as well. Why the fuck did we buy Mudryk and Madueke? I don't know. Big up to Steve as well. Nice to see you, my man. Hope you're well as well, my man. Hope you're well. Probably have an issue at the moment because my StreamYard is dabbing out. My StreamYard ain't working. That's why I'm a bit quiet, because at the moment I should have like over 80, 90 people here, but it's not telling me. I can't see the comments from the GNA TV side of things. Oh, actually, Ashraf, you're there. I don't know what's going on, guys. I've got problems with my StreamYard at the moment. Sorry about that. Big up to you, man. Nice to see you. Sean, nice to see you as well. Let's get into it anyway. Obviously, lots to get into and discuss. I want to just quickly share this video with you guys. This is the pre-match build-up to yesterday. So a little sneak peek for you.
Right. What's that score prediction?
Yes, people, welcome back. How are you all doing? We're on our way down to the Chelsea versus Everton game, kick-off in the next sort of hour or so. We've seen the team lineups. It's as we expected, as I said, with Christian Pulisic leading the line. But I do have a man like Don, one of the panelists here with me, a man like Lewis over here.
Big up, big up, big up, big up. Come
on. Let's go to Don quickly. Don, you've seen the lineups.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on a potential result today for Chelsea?
Yeah, I think it's a good lineup. I'm not against Pulisic starting ahead of Mudryk in that position. I think when he came on against Leicester, he was quite tidy with the ball. Yeah. Mudryk's touch was a bit sloppy, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I'm not against it at all. I think we've got enough to get at least 2 past Everton. So I'm saying 2-0 Chelsea. I'm quite confident. Everton have nothing up top. Set pieces, they are quite dangerous, but we do have some height in defence, to be fair, to deal with that. And we're quite dangerous in set pieces as well. So I think we've got more than enough to beat them. So I think 2-0 Chelsea.
Very confident, Don, as he was when he came on for the match preview as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Lewis, because Kai Havertz leads the line again. Well, actually doesn't. Him and Joao, Felix and Pulisic lead the line today. Mm-hmm. What are you expecting from that team lineup?
Hopefully another 3 points. It's a good lineup. Surprised Pulisic's starting, to be fair, but it's also a bit of a question mark. Makes the game a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think everybody we expected to start starting. Everton might make it tough for us defensively, but we should be doing enough to get 3 points. I should feel a bit confident for once.
Thanks. There you go. We're all quite confident going into this one. The back of 3 wins in a row. Can we make it 4 for the international break? Big April with 9 games being played as well, so it's important that we get this win. It doesn't move us. I don't think we move anywhere, do we, guys? If we win today, could we go 9th?
We're 11th right now.
Yeah, so
Go 9th if we win, I think.
Could go 9th if Fulham losing.
It's not happening anymore.
Brentford won again, didn't they?
Oh,
there we go. Yeah, it's Fulham that are above us.
Oh shit!
Both of them are.
Yeah, so we probably don't move in terms of position, guys, but let's see. Let's see. I'm going for a 3-0. I've said it already.
Spurs are winning, for fuck's sake.
And the other Kai Havertz, Joao Felix,
3-2,
and an Enzo Fernandez goal. Yeah, we might do a half-time. I might be sitting next to Lewis today for the first time, so let's see. We might do a half-time recap, and then a potential full-time. Actually, no, full-time. I've got to go, so half-time recap, and then we'll be back tomorrow for potential match reaction show, guys. But up the Chelsea, and we'll see you in a bit.
Up the Chelsea.
Yeah, I didn't get to do the half-time reaction or a match reaction because I had to leave 20 minutes before the end of the game, which was quite annoying. I have got a problem with my StreamYard at the moment, guys. So there's about 100 people here, but it's telling me there's like a lot less than that. And I don't think I can see all of the GNA TV comments as well. It's a problem with my channel, not Chelsea Fan TV at the moment. It's just StreamYard completely glitching. But we went into that game. Good team lineup. Pulisic instead of Mudryk, which some people may have been slightly annoyed about, but I guessed it. I said it on the match preview. I felt like I could see Christian Pulisic, leading the line in this game. We played Havertz and Felix. They have to play. They will play, in my opinion. And the rest sort of predicts itself, other than Badishile playing for Cucurella. The team was good enough in terms of setup, how we set up and played. We obviously played the 3 at the back with the 4-3-4-3, as we knew we would play anyway. But it wasn't... What went wrong yesterday for us wasn't just all on Potter. Potter let us down later on in the game. But let's rewind it to the beginning of the game, because that first half performance, we should have been well clear. We should have easily been well clear. We should have been at least 2 goals up front. And one of the biggest things that I really wish that this team had was a killing edge. That cutthroat approach. We don't know how to kill games. We don't know how to take big leads. And I'll be quite honest with you, it's becoming quite frustrating. Very frustrating, actually. Watching us, especially being at the bridge. I was behind the Matthew Harding stand as well, watching the game as well. So we didn't kill the game off. We had a ton fold of chances, Joao Felix had a couple. Kai Havertz had a good couple. Kovacic had a decent one as well. Decision making in the final third wasn't there. Decision makings in the final third wasn't there. But in terms of the overall play and how we approached it and how we moved the ball and how we sort of played for Enzo Fernandez, who just ran the game yesterday, we looked quite fluid at times. Just couldn't put the ball in the back of net. And it's one of the biggest issues that we have at Chelsea, and it continues to be an issue. And we need to change it. We really need to change it. But then we've got to decide, how the summer gets approached. Will Todd Boehly sign a Joao Felix or not and go for a striker? These are all question marks that we're obviously waiting for later on down the line. Gets to the second half. I don't think we had the same intensity as we did in the first. We get the goal through Joao Felix, who finally, once hitting the post, goes into the back of the net rather than it coming back out. So gets his goal. I did say again, this is the game for him to go and score. He goes and does that. Kai Havertz then gets a penalty as well. But before even getting to the Kai Havertz goal, I was sitting right behind Kepa, literally, for the corner. I was at that corner when the corner come in. And we're going to talk about Kepa anyway, but all right, the team didn't deal with any of the headers. There was a bit of the ball was a bit everywhere and we should have won and cleared it. But he decides to just stand on his line. Doesn't come out, doesn't try and impose himself. He just, I don't know. It just did not work, and we ended up going 1-1. And I'm thinking to myself, Kepa, what are you doing? You could have done better there. Like, what are you doing? And then we obviously go and get the penalty, which is, I'll say lucky, but deserved penalty, which Kai Havertz then steps up and puts in the back of net. It seems like he's become our penalty taker going in. And the last goal was a mixture of just bad defending from Koulibaly, who goes completely and utterly gets powered by Sims. Who the hell is Sims? Who the hell is Sims? And then on top of that, Kepa, it wasn't even a great shot. It was just straight at him, but low. Doesn't get down quick enough, goes under his hand, and then back in the net. And from winning the game 2-1, which we should have done, we then go to drawing the game 2-2. And in between all of that, you look at the substitutions, and we're going to highlight Graham Potter's substitutional decisions in a second as well, which were not impressive in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was just not good, guys. It was just not good again. And it regressed us. Again, it didn't allow us to kick on. It didn't allow us to kill the game. It didn't allow us to, we just lack a killer instinct. We really lack a killer instinct. Parts of positions and players and the way that they played looked very good. I think Enzo Fernandez had, again, and we're going to talk about him soon, an absolutely amazing game. Don't think Kovacic did, in my opinion. I thought Kovacic didn't have a great game. But we go into the international in 11th, when we should have been 9th. And by getting the 3 points, all right, it's only one step, but you got to be beating Everton, man. They were nothing. They are nothing. They are bad. They are shocking. Actually, quite frank. They are absolutely shocking. But then we've got to look at Graham Potter, and obviously we'll quickly look at the stats first of the game, and then we'll go into Potter, and then we're going to highlight individual players, and then we're going to do the player ratings. I'm going to get the panel in. We're going to talk. Yeah, we'll put the link in as well. So 68% to their 31. We dominated the game. We had 20 shots to their 12. They were pretty much camped back, especially in the first half. They were diving on the floor every time we took the ball off them, and and the ref was just so happy on just blow. It was so frustrating to watch. 7 on target to their 3, 83% to their 67, 73% to their 65 on tackles. And then it goes on with obviously 2 yellow cards each, and obviously Chelsea fouling Everton more than, which is quite shocking because they didn't have much of the ball, which makes even no more sense, to be honest, because we should have had a couple more free kicks here and there. Now, going on to a little video from my boy Fats, who was at the game yesterday, he called Todd Boehly, and Todd Boehly had this to say.
Shit, yeah. Big up, Todd. Cheers, Todd. Thanks for your time, Todd. Shit fucking game.
Yeah. Big up, Todd.
Cheers, Todd.
Thanks for your time, Todd.
He said shit fucking game. Exactly how the fans felt. It was a shit game in terms of result, yeah. Because we didn't get the result. We didn't get the result. It was not good enough. You know, with that kind of attitude, you got to think that the pressure's on. I really do. You got to think that the pressure's on Potter slightly on this. You can't be doing what he's doing and getting away with it, and getting away with it and continue to get away with it. In my opinion, you can't keep dropping points. And look, don't get me wrong, we won 3 and we go in the back of drawing 1, but then it's going to be going into April having to win important games. And we've got Aston Villa, which is a game that we have to win, and then we've got Man United, and then we've got Liverpool, and then we've got Arsenal, Man City's, I think, is in that as well. And these are all important big games. Newcastle to play as well. There's Brentford. There's quite a couple of games. There's 9 games to play that we need to kick arse on. That we really need to kick arse on. And I don't know. I don't know if we can do it. And all right, I get he's trying to play with some sort of consistency in terms of the decision making on players that he's lining up with, and he done the same thing yesterday. But he again kind of didn't help in terms of at a later point, even though it's a little bit different to the West Ham game, if that makes sense. And I'll rewind back to the West Ham game, because in the West Ham game we dominated for 25 minutes and we dropped, and he didn't have no impact. In yesterday's game, we dominated 45 minutes. We were wasteful. We came out. We got the goal. We had shit defending and shit goalkeeping that put us 1-1. He then acts by bringing Conor Gallagher on, which, fine. It doesn't shock me because he likes Gallagher, right? In the middle. And Gallagher had a good game against Leicester. Let's not lie. Gallagher was good against Leicester last game round. He made the decision at half-time at Leicester and it worked, but it didn't this time. And then it was just the substitutions after. It was just a mess. Why no N'Golo Kante? Why no N'Golo Kante? Can someone answer that question? Because I'm lost. I am lost. And then the substitutions after that were so pointless. So pointless. We've got an interview from Graham, which we can listen to because there's no tags on it. So we can. This is the Graham Potter's response, and then we're going to talk about that as well.
Graham, can you just sum up today's game for us?
Well, we're disappointed because we dropped points. We wanted to win. I think the intention of the team was positive. I thought we did lots of things well. Scored a good goal, then got a penalty, but ultimately we haven't defended a couple of actions well enough, and that's cost us the points in a largely positive team performance. But when you don't win at home, we're frustrated.
That Joao Felix goal, his first one here at Stamford Bridge. What a noise! Yeah,
it was fantastic. I think the supporters have really taken to him. They've warmed to him. I think I thought his overall performance was really good. He mixed his game up well. I thought him and Kai and CP attacked well. We used the width with Chile and Reece. Cover and Enzo, I thought, was strong in midfield. So lots of things well against a team that's hard to control completely. But like I said, we haven't got a nice feeling because we dropped points, and that's something for us to learn from.
Graham, can you just sum up today's game?
I always feel like he always seems to make up an excuse. Like, he doesn't just say, we're good in the first part, then the second half we just slipped off a bit and we didn't take our chances today and we were wasteful, and we need to work on that because it's not good enough for Chelsea. We need to be better in front of goal. He goes on about, he just kind of wavers away from it, and he goes, Felix and Havertz are really good together, both got their goals. Kovacic and Enzo are really good together in midfield. No, they weren't, because Kovacic was not good one bit. He kind of just dwells on. He kind of just dwells on just individual performances rather than talking about where the issues were lying. And it's just, I don't know whether it's just more of a deflection thing. Like, he knows what the issues are and he tells them and they talk about it, but he doesn't on the media. But I don't know why he does that. I just genuinely don't get why he's so, maybe not as public in terms of the truth behind how we played. He'll just kind of just big the players up. And that I don't get that. I don't get that with him, You look at his substitution since the Leeds game. Yeah. I've got to do that as well, mate. Let me do that. So guys, in the meantime, if you can go and check out this link as well, because this is the Discord link to GNA TV, which is where the community is, where we chill as well. So there's a link to that if you want to join the Discord of GNA TV. Go and click on over there for that. But yeah, big up. I'll just big up to Ads as well, because I know he's in the back, but I don't know what's going on. But yeah, going back to the game. So let's quickly have a look at this quickly, because this is the other thing I wanted to look at. Ignore the bald picture. He's not bald. But let's have a look at the decision making in substitutions in the 3 wins that we've made up to this point, and then obviously yesterday's game, right? So in the Leeds game, he decided to take Zakaria for Sterling, Gallagher for Felix, Carney off for Kovacic, Noni for Enzo, Chalobah for Ruben, right? Now, you could argue that it's a very defensive decision to take off, to bring on Zakaria, Gallagher, Chalobah, Carney to a degree. Noni, all right, the exception. But Noni for Enzo is a bit of a confusing one, because then I can't remember. I think Chalobah went into the middle now, or he went on the right. I can't remember. Anyway, or Ruben went into the middle. But a bit everywhere is what I'm trying to get at. When you look at the players that you're taking off, quite a lot of offensive players, and you're throwing on, defensive players, you've got to try and find the balance. You've got to make sure that the performance levels are still there. And that's where I always go on about regressing or progressing, because it seems like he regresses us with the decisions he makes. It completely unbalances us, invites pressure, and then gives us problems. We go and beat Leeds 1-0, but it wasn't a great game, was it? We struggled. Now, the Dortmund game was better, because if you look at the decision making on the substitutions, they make more sense. And by doing that, all it done, and this is why the Dortmund game was good, very good, is because it allowed the balance to continue. The decision to not take one player off, completely unbalance us, and then regress us, and then let invite pressure. We didn't have that. Gallagher for Felix, fine, because we were 2-0 up. Ruben for Sterling, fine. He wants an extra man in midfield. He then takes Pulisic off for Kovacic, packs out the midfield, fine. And Zakaria for Enzo is just a straight switch. That's not too bad, because what he's then doing, he's packing out the midfield, he's leaving 1 or 2 players up front, and he's making it hard for Dortmund to get in. But the decision to bring on specific players and take off specific players makes sense. As with Leeds, it didn't make sense, because Chalobah, Ruben, Noni, Enzo, Carney, Kovacic, Gallagher, Felix, all right, to a degree, that's the normal thing he does, and Zakaria, so that didn't add up. And then you got the Leicester game, where obviously we went on to win 3-1. At 2-1, he takes Felix off, because I think Felix had a bit of not a great half, in my opinion, right? And it worked. Gallagher comes on, gives us a bit of energy in the midfield, and we were fine. Pulisic comes on for Chilwell, right? And then Chalobah for Ruben, which we then, believe we switched to a back 4. So from a 3 to a back 4, with Carney coming on for Mudryk, after Mudryk played off the left of the 4-2-3-1, and Badiashile for Fofana. That is all more balanced, because you've taken a defender for a defender, you've taken Carney off on Mudryk, who could play off the left, you took Chalobah for Ruben, but that's when we done the switch from the 3 to the back 4. And then Pulisic, obviously, for Chilwell, who then came in as well, and then obviously Gallagher, Felix. But then you look at what he did yesterday, and the decisions on the substitutions of yesterday. He brings Gallagher on for Pulisic at 1-0 up, right? That don't shock me. People get shocked like that. Don't shock me, because he's got away with playing Gallagher and taking one of the offensive players off and just adding an extra midfield. So that's fine for me. But then we go 2-1 up, and he takes Ruben off for Kovacic, fine. He comes back in. He takes Carney off for Felix, which tells you straight away that he's trying to pack out the defence and defend against Everton, and Chalobah off for Fofana. They weren't overall bad substitutions, but what he did was invite pressure on us, and you didn't need to do that against Everton. Everton were having more problems us going at them than they did us, going the other way. And I don't get why we did that. I genuinely don't get why we did that. You know, it's a bit of a weird one. Sure, more back passes than Jorginho challenge is what Thomas is saying. Big up to Thomas. Guys, there's over 140 people here. I can't see the GNA TV bit because it's not working, but I know there's but please smash the likes, guys. I know we haven't got enough likes, so please get the likes up. I would appreciate that because, again, the likes are atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Jesus. Everyone hit a like. Everyone hit the thumb, please. Everyone hit the thumb. Everyone hit the thumb. I don't ask for much, guys. I genuinely don't ask for much. Trevor's having a go at yeah, Chilwell's fine. There ain't too much of Chilwell. Let's talk about individual players, performances of individual players as well. And I want to look at some of them, starting with the Mozo one, which is Wesley Fofana, because he's obviously been out injured for a while, but the last couple of games he's really stepped up and he looks very comfortable in the back three. I thought Wesley Fofana had a good game yesterday. The stats would back it as well. I like the fact how he drives through the middle. It gives me that Rudiger vibe, you know, the way he moves forward with the ball. Solid defender. He really is. Solid defender. I just hope he stays fit. I just hope he stays available. Top player. Top player. One that we can move forward with in the long run. And with him gaining experience, playing in Champions Leagues and whatever, I can only see him getting better. His ability to win balls in the air, carry the ball, pass the ball, cross the ball, defend well, read the game. He has a lot. And being next to Thiago Silva as well, I think Wesley Fofana is he's a good player. He is a good player. He's very good. Big up to Wesley Fofana. Now we're going to go on to another individual, who everyone knows I'm a bit skeptical of, and it's not because of what he gives us, because what he does give us is something we don't have. And yesterday he showed us that again in the first half. It's the able to pick the ball up and dribble and take players on. And he done some nice bits yesterday. He also done some very annoying bits yesterday. And decision-making on the ball in the final third from Joao Felix was not good. Not good. I'm sorry. It just wasn't. You know, he takes a shot rather than passing it into Reece James off the right, which probably would have led to a goal because we know that's Reece James's territory. He shoots straight at the goalie as well, which makes it 10 times worse. We had Christian Pulisic bang in the middle, right, after a break between Havertz and Enzo linking up. And Enzo gets through. He lobs the ball over to Felix, who runs onto the ball. And he looks up, and Pulisic's on his own. He's only just got that defender there. You can literally bend the ball around him, and Pulisic will get to it. He hits the ball behind Pulisic, and that whole quick transition ends up disappearing. It's just little bits yesterday that I was just like, come on, Joao. Like, come on. You know, he's frustrating. And when people go, yeah, but Havertz, but Pulisic, but yeah, they all do it. They all have this tendencies doing the same shit. But I got told that this guy is above that level, that can do the creative element, that can score the goals that we need him to score, and do the creative eye that no one else in the team can. Actually, in fact, I'll be honest with you, Kai Havertz is more of a creator than Joao Felix. And I don't even have to highlight it. Just look at the stats in the last couple of games. You know, I like Joao Felix and what he offers and poses. The only thing that Joao Felix needs to work on, in my opinion, as a player, is shooting. Even though he scored a good goal yesterday with his left foot, was a good finish, by the way, off the post on him. Shooting, because he does get a lot of chances from us, and his decision-making on the passings. You know, his final ball, which leads to maybe us scoring the goal. Just not there, you know. But the overall game and performance of the first half, he done a nice little flick. He done a nice little flick against an Everton defender and ran free, which was quite nice. Like, the problem with Joao Felix is, I'll tell you what it is that usually, like, all of the Felix lovers like him so much because of all the little touches and, you know, flicks, and that's nice. I like that. I like watching him do all that, right? The difference is he needs to be more effective when he's in the final third. And let's be serious, he has to be. He's not a striker. The truth is he's not a striker. And that's the big issue. Him and Havertz are just not killers. And I want killers in that team. I want players that are going to come on and kill games off, or strikers that start games that will kill games off. And when you look at the chances that you had yesterday with a striker that can actually finish in them positions, maybe they just score them goals and it's a different story. But he still had a good game. He did. He still had a very good game, especially in the first half. Second half, he gets the goal and then he kind of fizzes off and gets taken off. But just there's couple bits to his game that I need to see more of. That's the thing with Joao Felix. Now, moving on from Joao Felix, we've got just the unbelievable presence, and he just keeps getting better and better and better. And I think you guys know who I'm going to relate to right now. He is a baller. He is just unreal. He literally is just unreal. And yesterday, he was just amazing, especially in the first half. Enzo Fernandez is the most progressive passing and touches per 90 of any player in the Premier League this season, guys. He's only just played a handful of games. Can you imagine when you unleash this guy further forward and he can make them final passes through more effectively in them positions for the forwards? He's doing it from the deeper role and he's fine from it. And he did go forward a couple of times yesterday. Him and Kovacic take turns. But he is, for me, if we get the right players around him and we start progressing up the table again and we start becoming a challenge for the title, I promise you now, he will be the pinnacle of all of it. He will be that important. He is that important. He is that good. So good. It is ridiculous. He is so good. It is ridiculous, guys. I told you, he's my baller. He is my baller. And when you look at the stats yesterday, he's so good to watch by the eye. And I know on TV he looks good, but watching him in the flesh is just something else. And when you look at these stats, guys, he's had more progressive passes than any other player per 90 in the Premier League. Zinchenko sitting behind him. Kevin De Bruyne, who is a great creator, a world-class creator, sitting behind him in progressive passes. Rodri as well. Touches this season, 107 in one game. And this is talking like Man City, who dominate games and pass the ball 4,000 times to each other. The guy gets more involved than we actually realise. I'm telling you, he is, for me, the key in the ignition. You twist the key and then boom, and you get that beautiful V8 noise. You know, that nice V8 noise coming out of a car. Vroom, 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 vroom. That is what he is. He's so good. He's so fucking good. We are going to do the player ratings, but I did say to the boys I'll bring him in for that as well. It's over 150 people here. Big up to every single one of you guys that are in here as well. I'll put the link in there, see if any of them will come in as well. Let's see if anyone will join as well. Yeah, guys, look, it's over 150 of you here. Big up to you guys that have tuned in at the moment. That's not true, is it? That is not true. That is not true. That's just agenda driven, like your Kepa agenda, like you were doing on your video, on your stream earlier on when you were defending it rather than criticising it. Not good enough, Matty, mate. Not good enough. Not good enough. Havertz is so much of the problem that he scored all of our goals. He scored in every game in the last 4 games. He wasn't great yesterday, by the way. Kai Havertz. Him and Joao Felix were both frustrating me for the same reasons, in my opinion. They both had good chances. I think with Havertz more, though, he kind of drifted off in the second half. I think Felix did the same as well. They both seemed to just drive off. But the one thing I would say is the chemistry is good. It's good to see. OG's in the building. Big up to OG.
Yo, what you saying? What you saying, James? Everyone good?
All right, bro. How are you?
Big up everyone, man.
What are you saying?
I'm actually good, man. I'm not as like negative as down as everyone else because It's like I don't really focus on the league that much. I've kind of written off this season in the league. I'm sure a lot of you guys have. At best, we'll finish 7th. Whoopsie do. I'm hoping this. I don't know. This is not facts or anything like that, but I'm just hoping this balances out the Chelsea squad in terms of we put more of our chips into the Champions League. Even though we got Madrid, that's a big boy club. I can see us drawing and losing again. We got Arsenal, we got Liverpool, so I'm not gonna be shocked. I'm not expecting no wins. Maybe one win in the next couple of how many games we got left? 11.
Yeah, it's about 10. I think
How
it's
many
10
games left, Jen?
Yeah,
10 games.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think. Anyway, yeah. We have got Premier League table. We have got 26, 27. So we are. Where are we? We're there. So we're 27. We've got 11 games. Yeah, 11 games.
11 games left.
Yeah, 11 games left, bro.
Honestly, out of those 11 games, I see a few more. 1 or 2 losses. Might not even be against the big clubs like Liverpool or Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what was your thoughts on yesterday's game, mate? Anyway, talk to us about yesterday's game.
I mean, our creativity finally hit a level where I was like, all right, we're actually making chances. We could have scored a few more, and we got 2 goals, which is, for me, it is a good thing. But it's like the second we increase our creativity, our defensive, we always concede. I know you guys want to bring the goalkeeper, but honestly, I don't know, man. I feel like our defense is just not that special without Thiago Silva in the middle.
Hasn't been bad the last couple of games, though, is it? They've done a good job between them. Koulibaly, Fofana, Cucurella, or Badiashile. We've actually been okay. I would say that the second goal, more for me, was not good from Koulibaly's side of things. However, Kepa should be saving that. I'm sorry. We're going to talk about Kepa now, because obviously, I don't know, right? I keep telling people about Kepa. I have no issue with Kepa being a second goalie. I really don't. I think Kepa is funny enough, Matty's here as well, which is good.
He's the defender.
How you doing, Matty? You all right, mate? You're good?
All good, man. All good.
When it comes to Kepa, you're a better defender than Thiago Silva, Matt.
Well, you always got to back family, He's my cousin.
I was behind the goal yesterday in the Matthew Arden.
Yeah.
And right in front of my face, especially the second, I'd say both goals were bad, right? And I'll tell you why. The first goal was bad because the defense didn't clear it and they didn't win the headers which were bounced around in the box, but he didn't even come off his line. He just stood there like this, yeah. And then when he did commit to come to the ball, he then decides he completely misjudged it, which means that the Everton player can just flick it over him like that. And he's just left so out of it. He doesn't control his box. And when we bang on about Mendy being so bad at playing the ball out, this is what Kepa's bad at doing. And these are two things that for me don't make moving forward for the Premier League, don't make a great goalie. And I'm not saying he's a bad goalie. I'm just saying he's not this number one elite level goalie that's going to allow us to kick forward and go and win Premier Leagues. I just think we need an overall all-round better goalie that can come out and win balls, that takes control of things. Yeah, that the defenders can look at and be more trustworthy of, right? The thing with Kepa, he's had some good games. And I've even said, I actually think he's saved us in some of these games this season, right? I think he's been very good. But he still has the tendency to do what he does yesterday. And it's not only just yesterday, because he done it against Man City at home, where he just let the ball roll across the blipping pitch, past him, and they tapped it in when we were 0-0 with them, and they went 1-0 up. Like, he has the tendency to just have these moments. And when you want to win games, the difference between winning games and why we won so much under the old regime, I'm talking about when Peter Cech was in goal, was because in them moments when you need your goalie, when your goalie's not had that much to do, and he didn't have much to do yesterday, they step up. They basically help the team get the 3 points that's required in games. Kepa's just not that figure for me. He does it in some games, but he's just not consistent for me. All right. And yesterday's game, the first goal, it was poor. The second goal, Koulibaly's defending was poor. Yeah, granted, yeah. But he should still be making that save. That save had no power behind it. That shot rolled under his fucking hand, was straight at him, and goes into the back of the net. Like, do you see what I mean? These are the little things that he has to do better at. And I know he can save them. We've seen him do it. He can save them. But it's the consistency of doing it. And you can't be a number one at Chelsea, yeah, and go and compete for titles when you have games like that. And you lose points on the back of it. And that's my issue with Kepa. All right. And that's why I say we need a better goalie.
So 2 minutes went past. Jim had that rant. And let's not forget he got Edouard Mendy, world-class keeper, where the guy can't kick a ball straight. So Jim, I'm not listening to any of that. So because
but before you continue with that, because you keep talking about Edouard Mendy, I've actually seen more class performances from Edouard Mendy consistently than I have Kepa.
Nah, Mendy had better defense.
Yes.
Jem, did you not see a stat where
the guy won AFCON,
Kepa's...
the guy won Champions League, the guy was a pivotal goal,
he was
part of the team
great.
in that period. Let's not act like Mendy didn't do nothing at Chelsea.
Yeah, no, Mendy was great. He was great, but you can't disregard. Kepa had the most saves in the Premier League with the most shots shot at him, right? So he's had a lot of saves, but he's also had a lot of flaws. He's I think he should have been coming out for that box. But why isn't he coming out for that box? Why isn't he coming challenging? For me, it's the confidence thing. I think he's done it before. I saw Leicester where I saw him a couple of times. You come out and just get a little tap to it. But I think this game, it's either confidence and it's decision making, and it's just his basic shit that he just doesn't do. I don't know why he does it. Is it to training? Because I saw with Mendy, and I saw this with Mendy as well. And I saw Mendy could not kick a fucking ball, but he never learned from his mistakes. Why didn't he learn from his mistakes? And the same thing with Kepa. He's not learning from his mistakes. He's not getting out of the box. He's not controlling his box, but he's continually making the mistake. Now, I don't know why he's doing that. Does it come down to the keeping coach? Does it come down? What does it come down to? Because Mendy did the exact same thing. And when we compare to someone like Czech, it's incomparable. Never compare anyone to Czech. It's a different player. But then you go look at the market. Look at the market, Jem. Yeah, it's not level. You can compare the market. Yeah, go get me. I said, go get me a Jose Sá. Great, someone to compete with Kepa because Mendy's done. He's finished. He's gone. He'll be going by August, right? He said, he's not gonna be here. Selena's too young. He's 18, right? Don't need to rush him. Go get a Jose Sá. Go get a Sanchez. You guys want David Raya? David Raya is 5'11". That's bullshit. Selena's never even played a professional game in Chelsea, right? But you guys want to go get David Raya. David Raya is like fucking 6 foot. You guys are complaining about keepers not controlling their box, but you want to get David Raya who's 6 foot.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense for me. I'll go get a Jose Sá. He's a bit tall, not the tallest guy, but if you want someone who's tall, David Sanchez. And he's been on the bench actually for a couple of games Brighton because of that. Still guys overtake. He's been doing well too. So you can get a good price on him too. But for me, Kepa can be our number one. Consistently, maybe not. Maybe you get someone to compete with him. He can possibly lose that number one spot, but at the moment he's number one. At the moment he's number one, so you can't do anything about it. At the moment he's number one. You get someone else.
He's number one because
well, no, you got Edouard Mendy. You got Edouard Mendy.
We got no one.
You got Edouard Mendy. He somehow probably broke his finger. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
He hasn't been playing. Edouard Mendy's not even on the bench.
Because
he's been injured forever.
How did he break his finger? What was he doing? Picking his nose, picking his ear or something? How did he break his finger? From doing what? He was injured before. Yeah, so he's done anyway. He's done. So we need to get someone else, right? And everyone, and you tell me who's gonna be number one because no South can sit here and all agree on number one. So you tell me, John, who do you want as the number one?
Well, there's obviously we have a scouting team out there, right? So we've got to go and find the next big thing if there is out there. Yeah. People say Stegen, people were saying Black, these type of goalies as well. I mean,
they're not for sale, man. They're not for sale.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take it to Stegen any fucking day of the week, but he ain't for sale.
We've got Diego Costa is what Mohammed is saying here. I'm not a big fan of Sanchez. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Sanchez. I think he's bad. I just don't think he's.
Pickford.
I'd rather have Kepa. That's me saying that.
Well, and that AC Milan keeper, I said him too. Didn't he get injured like 3 months ago? He was out for
Durama.
No, not Durama. Miengen. Miengen. So there are options to get and go get them. I'm not saying not to get them. Spanish Pickford or Senegalese. Mate, that's Kepa. Don't disrespect Kepa mi amor.
I just clocked what you said.
We saw Pickford, and this lot won a Pickford as well. Actually, a couple of months ago too.
No, definitely not.
He's had too much against him, man. No. Don't disrespect Kepa mi amor. Obviously, got him in a while, actually.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, boys?
Yeah,
Tell
here
Matt
you go.
Pepper is arse
You
cheeks. What,
Hey,
Lewis?
Lewis, man, Lewis, don't fucking be chatting shit, yeah. Well, I haven't seen you 2 months. You should have fucking 4 a.m. Yeah, little twat. I'll be seeing you soon, mate. I'll be seeing
Big
you
up,
soon,
big
little
up.
twat.
Big
Big
up,
up to
lads,
Lewis.
man. Big up. I'm on my way back from football, so I'm just in my car right now.
My
mate?
G, did you win, yeah?
We're talking about Kepa's performance yesterday. What are we saying?
Oh man, listen, we need a first choice. We need another keeper in the summer because Kepa is just unreliable, man. That's the word for him. He's unreliable because you see, before they scored, right? I was watching him because we was at the game yesterday, Jem, and he was under no pressure whatsoever. He kicked it to no one, and that's how Everton managed to get the ball back. It was from him kicking it out to nobody. Then after that, you can argue that he should have saved that as well. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like Kepa's had
Hang on,
way
hang on.
too many games
He
like
kicked out to nobody. No, he cleared the fucking ball. Do you not want us to get
He
like?
passed it
I
down
was
though.
watching him. I was watching him in the game. He was under no pressure whatsoever, and he cleared it to no one. Because when that happens, me and
Lewis,
the
I
boys
know he's
around,
so
like,
strong.
the boys around me were like, "Why has he done that? Why has he done that? Like he was under no pressure. Why has he cleared it like that? He cleared it to no one, right? And the goal came from it. And if you look at his reaction as well, when they scored, he kicked the post. I'm looking at him like, bruv, you had all the time in the world to just calm it down. With Kepa, I feel like he just doesn't have that aura in the box. You know, like that aura you need from like an Alisson, from like a tall, strong keeper. He just doesn't give me that vibe. Do you get what I'm trying to say? For me, Kepa, I don't mind him as a backup, but we need another keeper in the summer, man. I've had enough.
Bro, he can play Flamino until he concedes.
I've had enough, man. I've had enough. He's done this way
Well,
too
I
many
mean,
times.
yeah, I mean, everyone wasn't saying this last week, you know, or the week before, you know, 3 weeks ago. So you got to be consistent. You know, I know James being a bit consistent with Kepa, which is fine. As I said, I think if you get someone to compete with him, that'll be great. But can he lead us in the next 3 years? Probably not. But he's here for, I gotta say, for the next probably 1 or 2 years. Yeah, he'll be all right until he hits his 30s, and then we can move on. We have Selena for that reason. But I'll give him probably we're gonna rate him or no?
Well,
yeah, let's give him a rating.
We'll just all give an overall rating. I'll probably give him a 2. Yeah.
We'll give him like a 6.57.
You give him a 6. You'll give him a 6.
You're a troll.
At least you show up to the game. At least show up to the game on like Mount. So you know, I'll give him a 6.57.
Do you know what it is, Matt? Do you know what it is with him, right? He can pull off some really good saves. That's one thing about Kepa. He's like a cat in the box. That's what I call him. He's like a cat in the box. Same thing with Raya. Like he's like a cat in the box. But the concentration levels just aren't there. And especially from corners as well. He doesn't give you that authority that you need from a keeper. He doesn't.
But his hair was nice that game, so at least we give him a little couple of credit for that.
You do
there's too many negatives with Kepa for me than the positives. That's how I look at it. So for me, I'm happy keeping him as a backup, but we need to go in the summer and actually find a keeper that can cover that ground in his area, right? Yeah, no, you are. I can't lie.
I don't drink, man. I don't drink.
Yeah, man. Kepa, he can't be the first choice. He cannot be the first choice.
I'll be honest with you. For both of them goals, he's a 2. That's it. There's no 7.
No, I'll give him a 4.
2 for me. What are you saying?
Yeah, I'll give him a 2 as well, Jerry. I'll give him a 2, man.
Oh, deep.
I think that's way too low.
When I left the game yesterday, I was so annoyed because the concentration levels, boys. How many times is this going to happen where we just give away these leads? It's Everton. They had no striker, Jem.
Well, when you look at the substitution made as well, the subs made by Potter as well. I don't know if we're going to talk about Potter.
More gay with the main striker.
I don't know if you guys.
I'll leave it there.
We'll get to Potter at the end. Let's just try and fly through these like ratings and then get to Potter. Yeah, because otherwise we're going to be here all day. I'll be honest with you with Koulibaly. He's been good of recent, I would say. I thought he's been playing quite well. Yesterday's game, he started off okay, and then he started doing his dodgy stuff again, where he just starts hoofing the ball to no one, making poor passes. The second goal was partly as we blame Kepa for it. We've also got to blame Koulibaly because how man is getting shifted like a 3-year-old kid off a ball from a 10-year-old, like and then losing the pace to Sims to get back. And them scoring is pathetic for me. So if I've given Kepa a 2, I've got to give Koulibaly a 2, mate, because that was pathetic for me.
2?
Yeah, but think about the whole game, though. Come on, can't just isolate
that's harsh, man. Jem, that's harsh. I'll be honest.
You got to give it lower than Kepa. You got to give Kepa higher than Koulibaly.
No.
Nah.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
At
let's
least
not go back to
Koulibaly's, you
Kevin,
know,
man. We gave him
Koulibaly's
a
a better
ball.
haircut.
Koulibaly was not that good yesterday. I'm sorry. He was all right.
He was alright in the first half.
See, the thing with Koulibaly, he's just a bit inconsistent, you know, and he has experience, but then he doesn't use his experience on that pitch. Like, if Thiago Silva was there, it would have been 2-1. The guy was not getting a
3
shot.
or 4.
Right.
I'll change it. I'll take it back. 3 or
Yeah,
4.
it's a four,
I'll
man.
give him about a 4.5. I'll give him a 5.
4.
I think he wasn't the worst thing in that mistake, but it just pisses me
Yeah,
off how
but
he does it.
Matt,
'Cause
he done the thing that he always does. Every time I watch him, I go, "This guy's gonna get a booking," and lo and behold, he gets a booking. He's gonna miss another. By the time he gets his 10th card, he'll miss another 2 games.
he reminds
I'm
me of
so
just a
sure he's
Chalobah.
gonna
Like,
get them.
for me, he's an experienced Chalobah. I've been saying this also. He's an experienced Chalobah. I like the guy. I really want him to work out, but I don't know if he's going to continue this. I wouldn't sell him. I mean, people talking about selling. No, absolutely not. He has the experience. He has it there. He just, I don't know what he needs. Maybe Thiago Silva to hold his hand or something. But we need those games where Thiago Silva's not there, and he needs to step up. And I need to see more from him.
Yeah, I hear that. Guys, nearly 200 people here. Big up to every single one of you guys that are currently tuned in. Smash a likes, because I know we've not got enough likes. Let's get us to 100 likes on both channels, please, if we can. Should we move on? Otherwise, we're just going to keep talking about the same thing, aren't we? Let's just move
Go
on.
through the defense.
Yeah. I'll be quick with Fofana. I thought he was good again yesterday. He impresses me. He has impressed me. I think he's a top player. Strong 7 for me. I like Fofana. Carried the ball well, defended well, aerially very well. You know, yeah. It gave me a bit of a Rudiger vibe yesterday, the way he was carrying the ball forward. So, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, we always have a defender that scores goals, and every time I watch him play, he always comes close. Or he scored. I'm hoping he can start becoming that. Like Cahill, Ivanovic, start getting some goals from the aerial set pieces and all that. But yeah, I gave him a strong 7 as well.
Do you know what I love about Fofana as well? He's not scared to take the ball in awkward situations when there's a attacker like sort of going towards him. He's comfortable, more than comfortable on the ball. And like Jem mentioned, he's one that's happy to drive forward. I haven't seen that since Rudiger, where we've got a centre back literally running through the midfield trying to make something happen. So Fofana, hopefully that injury, because I heard he had an ice pack or something on his thigh, hence why he came off. But yeah, Fofana, I'll give him a solid 7. He was good yesterday.
He was.
Yeah. Oh, I'd say as well. Just give him a 7. I think he was really good, yeah, for sure.
Couch Critic is in the house as well. Big up to him.
Big up, man. Check out his channel.
He's missed the ratings for Kepa and Koulibaly. Do you want to have a quick say on him quickly, Couch?
If I'm going to say, I got my son with me, so just bear with me. But if I'm going to give a rating on Kepa, it can't be more than a 2. Like, he didn't have much to do that game, and we still conceded 2, like right underneath his arm. Like, you got to be able to get down and stop that. I'm sorry. If you're blaming Koulibaly for that goal, you're not paying attention. The first goal, he's just flapping around. He's just flapping around in the set piece, man. Like, this is my issue with Kepa isn't his ability on the ball or even his shot stopping. It's his command of the area and just the way that he always seems to just like have the weakest wrists. Like, every time you see him try to make a save with his hand, it just flops away and it's in the net. So we need to find a new keeper. I know I came here a couple weeks ago after. I can't even remember what game it was, but I was backing this kid. Was it that? No, I can't even remember which one it was, but it was a couple weeks ago. And then as soon as I back him, he gives me Everton and Leicester. Like, literally Everton and Leicester. The minute I back him, I'm like, I can't defend that, man. So we need to find a complete keeper that can give us exactly what we need. And I'm sure there's
just being a flip flop.
I'm sorry. Hey, I see what I can only judge what I see. I'm not going to blindly back somebody. I'm not going to blindly back somebody just because I look like him or because like I've been backing him for 3 years. When you're poor, you're poor. You can call me whatever you want. Flip flop that, flop flop flip, whatever. I judge what I see. At the moment before those last 2 games, I was like, yo, man, this guy's giving us some good performances this year. And it just seems like I can't trust him to over the course of a campaign. He can give you good performances, no doubt. But over the course of a season, he's going to have games like that time and time again. He's just not consistent enough to be a goalie.
Next game, he'll pull a fucking 6-7 saves, and then you turn.
It's possible. But I'm at the point right now where from what I've seen, he's not going to be able to backstop a team to a title because he's just too inconsistent.
Yeah. All right. I want to move on to Badishile. Yeah, let's get into Badishile. I'll be honest with you. When Koulibaly got a yellow card in the second half, where he came across and he was a bit rash and he kicked the ball, that was actually on Badishile because he ball watched bad. Like he let his man go after just watching the ball and then jogged back, which then Koulibaly had to come out of position and run across and completely clatter the blimmin' guy because of Badishile. And I like Badishile. I think he's a good player, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it was little things yesterday where I was just like, come on, Baddy, like what was that? Or what are you doing? Why are your positional awareness not there? Like, is it because you're in the back three? Are you more comfortable in the back four? Because you've seen you next to Silva in the back four, does that suit you more? Like, it wasn't a bad game. It's just there's little things in the game yesterday where I was just like, if you can't do that against better teams because they'll punish you. They'll punish you, especially if you fall asleep. And I don't know. For me, he was still a 5.56. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't atrocious, but I don't know. I mean, what are you saying, guys?
Well, from what I saw, I didn't see he had to do that much. I think he wasn't as involved as someone like Fofana. Again, I was half asleep when I watched it, then I rewatched it today. But again, I'm not going to put too much on him. I think, he's a player who we can sit here and say, hey, he might need Thiago Silva to hold his hand because he's a young guy. And I don't think Koulibaly is that guy who can step up and do it. And that's why I'm not trying to blame Koulibaly on that, but Badiashile is someone who needs, who's still growing, he's still getting young, but he didn't make, you say, he led to that goal ball watching, but I don't think there was any individual massive mistake he led to. But I don't think at the worst game, I'll probably give him like a 6.
No, Koulibaly got a yellow card for completely clattering the forward, but it was purely because Badishile just fell asleep. In my opinion, completely fell asleep, because Koulibaly had his own man to mark. But yeah, moving on. Anyone else? Anything to say quickly before we move on?
No, I agree. 6.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I think I'll give him a 6. He wasn't as good as Fofana. If we're giving Fofana
He needs Thiago.
then yeah, he has to be a 6. There was one bit when Damari
7.
Gray skipped him. But apart from that, he just had an okay game. I got the started because in a game like this, you need his height, you need his physicality up against the Corey, Onana, these guys in the box. Because yeah, Everton, they're dangerous from set pieces, right? So I understood why he started the game. But yeah, he wasn't bad. But it wasn't the best Badiashile that I've seen the whole time that he's been here. So I'll probably give him a 6.
Have you guys seen that thing on Twitter where the guy, I can't remember what show it is, the guy's got 1,000,000 knives at his neck and like you have to make like some sort of like controversial comment? Yeah. Okay, so that's been making the rounds last a while.
Was that from Trainer Dragon?
I don't know what it is. I don't really watch
How to Train the Dragon. How to Train the Dragon.
Okay.
That's it.
Slay the Dragon. I'm gonna say this. I'm not 100% with Badiashile. I'm just not 100 with this cat. Like, I feel like he has a mistake in him. I'm not gonna lie. I really do. Again, it's new. He's new to the Premier League. It's a faster league. It's a different league. It's a more physical league. I don't think that he made any tactical errors in the game per se, but I'm just not 100 with this kid. I'm going to be honest with you. It may just be down to the fact that he's young, he's just young and inexperienced, but
yeah,
he doesn't fill me with like the resolute resolve that you want to see in your defenders. And yeah, it's just me.
I've noticed you say this. I've noticed that you've been a bit skeptical of Badiashile. What have you seen from him that's made you feel a bit skeptical? Because
I mean, like his footwork is not the greatest. Like I've seen him get spun more than a few times. Like when we're playing a high line. He doesn't necessarily have the best speed, like makeup speed. So that's another thing. But like, it's just footwork for me. And I think that your defenders have to have incredible footwork because you're always backpedaling. Then you have to be able to switch and get on your bike, right? So I'm not saying that I've ruling this guy out 100%. I'm just saying there's things in his game that definitely need to be whittled out. And like he has the players around him to help him in that regard. But I'm just not 100 at this point.
I hear you. Reece James. Now, I'll be quick on Reece James. I don't feel he's fully the Reece James that we are used to seeing. However, I'm not saying he's absolutely atrocious. I just think maybe the lack of minutes or the injuries, maybe he just needs a bit more time. I don't know. But he didn't have a bad game overall. I just don't see him committing forward as much as I'm used to seeing him, And don't get me wrong, and we're going to talk about the attack as well, but some of our decision making was poor as well in playing our wing back team yesterday.
Yep.
It doesn't if you don't give it to Enzo Fernandez, who usually picks out the right pass, and you rely on someone forward to do it, they don't tend to have the eye to do that, you know, and that goes against the wing backs because they're supporting as the offensive as well. They're trying to add to the attack, and if you're not getting them involved from the whips, then it makes it hard. But I don't know, probably a 5.5, 6, like nothing. I mean, he got the penalty, so I'll give him a 6 or a 6.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about Reece is that what Reece does well, right? Is he always plays the ball at the right time. He whips it in as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. He seems to be a little bit hesitant. He's doing it like 2-3 seconds late. And by the time he's doing it, he's getting shut down. So he's having to skip past the defender. And then when he's trying to whip it back in, it's like they're all back in position back there. So he needs to start whipping it in a lot earlier because there's so many times where Enzo was playing it. And I'm like, hit it first time, Reece. And he's taking 2-3 touches. And by the time he's whipping it in, they've got themselves in a position to be able to defend that ball that's coming in.
I agree.
So, I don't know, man. Reece, he weren't bad yesterday. He just needs to be a bit sharper with those balls.
Do more what we know he can do, basically.
That's he didn't. For as a player, he did good, but for his standard, he wasn't there. And I don't think he's been there since he came back from the injury.
Everything's a little bit late. Everything's a little bit laxy-daisy. I don't know what's going on there. But hopefully this international break, he got picked, didn't he, for England? Fucking hell.
Yeah. Shit. Maybe that'll go to our advantage. Maybe it won't, just getting the minutes in. You know, I don't know. We'll see.
He will start. He'll start for England. I think he's going to start. I think he'll start. Yeah. But hopefully that should keep him sharp. I'll give Reece a 5, I'd say.
Yeah, 6.5 for me.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him a 7. I don't think that he was Reece James per se, but he did win us the penalty. He wasn't really caught out for any of the goals, and on a few occasions, like in the first half in particular, let's not forget that there was an opportunity when this guy read the game correctly, got into the box, and Joao Felix just did not play him in. Like that would have been a goal. You know, Joao Felix decides to shoot instead of just like slipping Reece. Reece on his right foot there, he's blazing that pass. What's his face?
I agree with that.
Yeah, so like it's not like he wasn't Reece. It was the opportunities that you've given him to be Reece were not presented to him. Like literally, he would have scored there, and then he would have also won the penalty for us as well. There's a couple of times where he just like his touches inside the 18 where he's crossing up Dwight McNeil. He switches them left and right, just crosses them up completely, and gets guys into space. You know, like he wasn't terrible. I just say 7 is probably. You know, it's not really where I want to see him, but I think a 7 is a decent number for him.
Okay. Let's go into the midfield quickly. And let's talk about, let's start with Kovacic first. I'll be very short and sweet and quick with this. The first 5 minutes where the ball landed to him in the box and he hit it, he should have scored. I was behind the goal from that, and it was shocking. Like, if that was Enzo Fernandez, I think that goes in the back, or anyone else, I think that goes. It was just a poor shot. His decision making yesterday on the ball, I felt he dwindled a lot in the first half. He kept losing the ball in silly positions. You know, he's just not moving the ball effectively enough. I do like him and Enzo together, but yesterday I don't think Kova was himself. Some people think he was brilliant. I don't think he was brilliant, in my opinion.
Well, I think for that shot, you know, I don't expect him to score that, Jim, because we know he can't shoot. I mean, he scored that one a couple of weeks ago, but we know he only scores them once every 6 months, so I'm not going to add that. And that's what
I expect him to score. I'm sorry, you're a professional footballer, man. At least get that on target.
But again, I don't rate Kovacic like that, though. I don't rate him. I think he's a good ball moving player.
It wasn't a wealthy opportunity to score. It was quite a basic chance to score. I'll be honest with you. Like Jem said, Jem was right behind the goal. You got to get that on target at least.
Yeah, to get that on target.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's never really been his game, though, right?
No, but even what was his game yesterday? Did he do it very well?
No, not really.
And that's why it comes down to, I don't know, maybe now Zachariah needs to come in and start switching them in and out. I don't think Kovacic is the man for long term. I think he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but he's not the guy we need. For me, Jem, the Enzo, we need someone to sit so Enzo can push up. Because I need Enzo. The reason why Enzo wasn't in that position is because Kovacic is the one pressing up. If we had a sitter, Enzo would have been at the edge of the box having that shot. Yeah. And it would have been
you know what's funny though? Like as I would say that Kova wasn't great, but the moments where I wanted him on the pitch was from the 80th minute on. Like this is where you want to see guys come in and manage a game. You take your captain off when you're trying to see out a match. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if we got
talking
into
about
that whole thing yet, but you see what I'm
We're
saying?
gonna
Like
talk
that's when you want to have him managing the game. You know, like that's what Kova does. You know, like we're up 2-1, get him on the ball. You know, recycle possession. Let's kill the game. You know, and
Yeah,
so it was the moments that I wanted to see him was the ones that he took him off, which is weird.
I hear you. I hear you. Anything else to say? Should we move on? Let's move on. I'm assuming.
I think he had a better second half, but yeah, I agree with Couch. He got taken off a little bit too early for me, especially with those subs. I know we're going to get into Potter, but yeah, he should have stayed on a little bit longer, in my opinion.
Well, what is there to say about this guy? Because I mean, I ain't going to
Oof.
talk because there's nothing. I don't even have to say anything anymore because the guy just gets better and better and better the more you watch him. I mean, Don, you saw him in the
Jesus.
flesh.
My
What we
God.
seeing?
Hold on.
What more can I say about Enzo that I haven't said already? Like, just the passing, the awareness, like that to win that free kick as well. That bit of skill and flair. Enzo, man, easily man of the match. Easily man of the match. Are we rating him now? Because I don't know. There's nothing more I can say that I haven't said already about him.
It's just, you know what it is? It's just the weight of pass with him. It's the progressiveness of being able to get the ball and know that every time he knocks the ball, whether it's a long range pass or a short pass, every time it finds the person. You know, like he has that.
100%. 100. That's exactly it.
Like he's just so good at that, and that's why I say to you, he's literally like I think he's going to be the more and more this team improves, and we hopefully get better quality up front and stuff. I think he's going to be the pinnacle of it, especially if we allow him to be further forward. I really do.
And you know what it is, Jim? When he's got the ball, I just feel so safe. Do you know what I mean? I feel like comfortable with him having the ball at his feet. I just know he's going to make something happen. Whether that's just keeping it ticking or playing that long ball to Chilwell or to James. And there's a few times he kept playing it into James in the second half as well. Like he kept playing it into Reece.
He plays it without looking. First time without looking, he plays these balls, and it's just like you can't. He doesn't get. You know what he's so good at doing as well is that even though he's deeper, we don't want to see him there, and this goes to show why he'll be better further forward in the eight, more of like a in the 8 areas when he's helping the forwards. When you try and press him, he already knows what he's going to do with the ball before it comes to him. So you can't press him because he already makes that pass. He's press resistant, in my opinion. Yeah. So imagine him doing that further up the pitch when he's in between the midfield and the defence and able to know what he's going to do and it be more effective because he can play through a Havertz or whoever, a Sterling or someone. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what impressed me as well yesterday was the fact that he was actually taking control of that ball and driving with it up against the 3-man midfield of beasts, because Onana, Doucouré, these are all physical guys, and he was bossing it in there. And it weren't just him pinging the ball; he was actually trying to drive with the ball, and it was working. So yeah, he's upping his level already. Do you know what I mean? And it's
unbelievable. For as much as he's worth, he's worth every penny for me. He just
100%. Like he is an absolute beast, man. Yesterday he controls every game. I think every game he's played absolutely fantastic. This guy hasn't had a massive mistake in him. He's had some minor, but nothing massive. And he's slotting in so well. And it's only going to go up from here because as soon as you get a sitter, he will start to progress even better. And he's doing it now. So man, it's unbelievable. I'll give him an 8 for yesterday's game. An 8.
I don't even think he needs a sitter. He just needs somebody that's defensively aware. That's what you need.
But we don't have
a sitter. I don't think that we're going to be playing with any sitters, like an actual sitting.
Not a traditional stadium, but some with defensive qualities. But the only one is Kante and Zakaria, and they haven't been playing. So when they start to play, they'll be.
I really want to see him with Kante. I'm so intrigued to see him with Kante. I don't know why.
Perfect opportunity to at least get a cameo. I would have ripped this manager.
Can you imagine going to the Champions League against Real Madrid with a fit, well-going Kante and an Enzo playing like he is in the midfield?
Couch. At half time, when I saw Connor stripped off, I was so confused at what was going on because I thought was going to see Kante at least. When I saw Connor getting ready, I said, "Yeah, we're not seeing Kante today." I just knew myself that we weren't going to see him when I saw that at half time. We'll get into Potter, but yeah, Enzo was amazing yesterday, man. Again, solid day.
I mean, his value is priceless in the squad because he does things that nobody else can do in the team. So his value is priceless.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really just that simple.
I agree with Couch 100%. That's why I wanted him so much before he even got.
We got him.
We got him. Yeah. Ben Chilwell. Now I saw a couple of comments on social media of people saying, you know, Ben Chilwell trying to compete with Jorginho for the most back passes, in a game. I like Ben Chilwell. I think he's quality. I do. I think he offers us so much on the left. He's natural in the free in that position. So he's a threat going forward. He crossed some good balls in yesterday. However, the only thing that annoyed me a little bit with him yesterday was that he held on the ball a bit too much, and he does that a bit too much sometimes. Like he'll just touch it and touch it and touch it and touch it and touch it, and by the time that forward player's made the run, he's then offside because he's not paid it 2 touches before. And it's just sometimes he's a little bit frustrating from that element. But I don't know, mid-performance, it's probably the right thing to say. 6, probably, for me. What are you saying?
I think Ben Chilwell's a good player. I think he has it in. We've seen it. But for me, it comes into what you said, Jim. He just sometimes has this little kind of holds the ball. I don't think he's defensive. I like Cucurella. I don't like Chilwell. And I think they're used in different positions. Chilwell is more of a winger kind of guy who's more of an attacking threat, where you got Cucurella as a defensive threat. Right? So they balance each other. And that's what I really like about this team. And we have the only position in our left back where we've got 2 very class left backs. So I think for now, Chilwell from the game, he was great. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think his crosses were good. They were okay. The free kick he had at the start was actually really good, I think, for me. But I need to see a bit more from him to kind of match that in 2021 November. And don't forget, he just kind of came back. This is the most consistent game he's played for nearly a year and a half. He's finally played his 6, 7, 8 games. But for me, I need to see kind of Cucurella get more involved behind him, because I think when they played that back 3, what game was it? Not less than the game before. I think it was. I think Leeds. They played really well together, and I really like to see that. So maybe we could see more of that. But Ben Chilwell needs to kind of wake up, man, because there is competition on the bench, and Cucurella is a scary man. So, but I think he played good yesterday. I'll probably give him a 7.
Cool. We've got Enzo AJ and we've got Nomadic that have joined us as well. We're going to talk about Potter a bit
later.
Big up,
fam.
Big up.
Big up, Enzo. Big up to you, mate. Enzo AJ.
My G's.
We've spoke about Enzo, unfortunately, already, guys. We've passed that bridge already. But I would ask you on sort of Ben Chilwell performance.
I mean, it wasn't the Ben Chilwell that we saw. I believe was it against Dortmund and Leicester. So I'm thinking maybe him and Pulisic don't have a good playing relationship at this point, because that was the change that Potter made. Mudryk and him, I guess, started building some type of chemistry. Before that, it would be Felix on that side. So I don't know. He wasn't as effective as he has been recently. So I'm not gonna doubt him, or I still think he's the best left wing back we have. He's better at wing back than Cucurella. So I'm not making that change. I don't know if anybody would want to make that change, but Cucurella defensively, maybe in that like left center back, or even just defensively in general, maybe a little bit stronger. But I just think for the wing back role, it gives us that attacking impetus, and I think we still need him. So I'm still roll with him, but it wasn't his best game.
Can I quickly Tom it? I just wanted to say that I think the difference between Dortmund and this game is that we attack down the right predominantly this game, right? And we're using the left side as the outlet, right? So anytime that Chilwell got on the ball, it was basically in space, and he was just basically whenever we went for the switches. But it wasn't really that we used the left side for the build-up. So I'm wondering if that was a factor too, because he looked better when we were using him as part of the outlet to build up on the left. But just a different tactic today, I felt.
Yeah, I hear you. Guys, 200 people here. Big up to every single one of you guys. Smash the like, subscribe as well as always. We're going to talk Graham Potter at the end of these ratings. Nomadic's with us, but instead of us asking her about Ben Chilwell, because we've heard a lot on Ben Chilwell, I will ask her on. Let me ask you. This is a good one to ask you on. Joao Felix. Nomadic.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you that I was waiting for you to talk about Felix, because you've been hating on my boy. You've been hating on my boy since we got him.
I don't hate him.
Like,
I don't hate the guy. What
do you do?
No, I don't. I've never come on here with hate for Joao Felix. What I have asked is to see what I was what I have asked is for people to show me. I'm waiting to see what people say he's very good at doing, and I haven't seen it, which is scoring goals and creating loads of chances.
He just scored. What do you mean?
I don't do that, Coach. Don't do that.
He just scored. What are you talking about, man?
Don't do that. That is. Listen, look.
Wait,
I'll
Jim,
tell you-
Jim,
I'll-
Jim,
I'll-
do you not like that, Felix?
No. I like Joao Felix, right? I think he brings something that we don't have in terms of carrying the ball up the pitch. I think he's very good at carrying the ball up the pitch. He has obviously the dribbling ability to do that. What frustrates me with Joao Felix is not only that he gets most of our chances in front of goal and scuffers them, but he also doesn't have the right decision making in him in terms of the ball, the time he releases the ball in. And he done it a couple times in the first half yesterday, when in theory we should have been at least 2 goals up before we even got to half time. I know we're going to talk about Graham Potter and his impact on it, but well before we get to Graham Potter and his impact on the game, we should have buried this game. And Joao Felix was a part of it. So was Kai Havertz. So was Christian Pulisic. So I have to look at them as the guys leading the line. I liked him as the false 9, actually. First time I see him playing that sort of role. And I thought he'd done some very good things, and we played very well in the first half. But in the final third, when it comes to decision making, I'm talking about playing Reece James in, which probably would have led into a goal because that was Reece James' territory, for example, and taking the shot down the middle. And if you're going to take the shot for me, right, at least, all right, it's on target, but don't hit it straight at the goalie. Like, at least make him dive and save it and get a corner out of it or something. He's got a habit of just always down the middle or hitting the, always like, I don't know. Yeah, and that's something he needs to improve on in front of goal for me. And his decision making in the final third for the ball that then lands to the player who's going to score the goal. Not the transition part where he receives the ball and moves forward with it, because he can do that. It's the end part that I need to see him do more of. Because we moan about Havertz, we moan about Pulisic, we moan about Ziyech. All these players doing the same things in the final third, and I was told that this guy was different to them in that element I'm talking about.
Yeah, because they've been there for 4 years. They've been there for 7 games.
Huh?
They've been there for 4 years.
But whoever told you that,
games.
whoever told you that was lying, because Joao Felix has never been prolific in front of goal. So
no,
whoever told you that he's going to be prolific instantly was lying.
Yeah, I agree. But I was being told that on here when he came.
I don't know who's they.
I need names.
Yeah,
Jem, would you say that he's been our, most consistent goal threat since the past maybe 2-3 months?
Without question.
He by far, yeah.
The chances of them to him. So I expect him to put them in the back of the net.
He should be like these are guilt-edged chances.
Goals.
It's not like he's taking opportunities that you shouldn't be putting away. He should be scoring those. Let's be real here. I'm not defending it. There's a few opportunities where he should be banging that goal. Every time off the post, crossbar, whatever, he should be banging that. We'd be having different conversation if those shots were even 2 to 3 inches to the left or right, or a little bit lower. But with that said, I still think that he had a solid game. Again, his build-up play, and again, he wasn't really involved in the transition a lot, but he was at the top of the attack and still provided us with some decent play, link-up play and whatnot. I agree with you, Jem. I still think I need to see more. The fact that he's not surveying the pitch the way I want him to see it. He could have easily slid in Reece James there. That would have been the most obvious pass to make if he had his head up and just looked to the right. You know what I mean? Just make those passes. Instead of firing off a weak shot right into the keeper's hands. You know what I mean? So there is some things that he has to work on, no doubt about it. But overall, I still think that this guy has value in the squad. It's just whether or not we want to pay $80 million for what he has to offer.
That's my problem with it all. Because
my opinion on Joao Felix.
But do you
feel I feel that he's gonna thrive with a proper number 9. I know, Jem, you've got your reservations about how creative he is on the ball and whether he's gonna be clinical. I do agree with that, because before Joao, I don't know who you spoke to, Jem, but I watched Joao Felix right before he actually came to when he was at Atletico Madrid and in the World Cup as well. I could see that the guy is not clinical enough. And the first game he played for us against Fulham, I made that comment, say, look, he doesn't look like he can finish, but he's still a young player, so he's only going to get better, right? But for me, I personally feel like he's going to thrive he's gonna do really well with a striker because he's that player that's gonna play off of the striker. He can't be your focal point up top because he's not an all-out 9 and he's not a left winger. I feel like he's that player that you need to unlock defenses and create more space and run into space because he could definitely carry the ball and he played well yesterday. Let's not get it twisted. The front three yesterday were quite sloppy, including Felix. So I just think that at times you are a little bit harsh on him because he does bring something to the team. He definitely brings something to the team.
The other thing, it's not just Felix, but they seem to have a habit of fizzing out of games in the second half. He scored, and then the momentum just dropped completely. You know, like we just have this habit of just dropping out as well. You know, like
we don't stay on the gas. That to me, that's
and just
problem.
To echo on your point.
Yeah, go on, Dominic.
No, I just wanted to say, just to echo on what I think it was Don who was speaking, said, like, I think because Felix's name has been out there in world football for a while, people forget that he's 23. He's literally 23. You wax lyricals about Havertz, Gem. But Havertz is literally the same age as Joao Felix. They are both 23. And I feel like Felix, I'm not trying to excuse him, but probably wasn't managed well at Atletico Madrid. And anyone who was watching him already knew that he wasn't as clinical. And if we spent 72 million on Havertz 3 years ago, and if we were to spend 80 million on Felix right now with quote-unquote inflation and all that, I don't see the difference in people still want to give Havertz a chance and why you're not giving Felix a chance, and you can see what he can bring. Because for me personally, I think remove Felix out of that front three, it's not as fluid as we've seen it be fluid.
Definitely not.
I agree with that, 100%.
Definitely not. We have proof of that already throughout the season before he came to he joined the team.
I mean, for me, Felix is the guy that links the midfield and the attackers. Like, he's the guy that creates space with his dribbling and his touches. You know, like, that's important. Like, to get Havertz running into space and whatnot, to get Mudryk running into space. Like, he's incredibly important to the build-up play in that regard. Like, it's just what we're seeing in the final third that I'm not really quite 100% on right now.
That's me, but that's my mind, and this is where my mind's been with him for the last empty games that I've watched him. It's the final third element with him for me. It's not specifically how
he's never been clinical. So to expect him to be clinical overnight is just, I don't know. For me, Felix has never been clinical, and even
forget the clinical, forget the goals. But we're also talking about created chances here. But Kai Havertz has created more than Felix in the team.
But that's since Felix has joined the team, Jim. That's since he's joined the team. Kai Havertz was not creating these chances before.
AJ, that's also because, and again, this goes back to management, us dropping Havertz in a deeper role and not being left as number 9.
I agree. Him playing off a striker, which is what we always say, all of our attackers, all of them play better off of an attacker. Every attacker that touched the field yesterday plays better off of a striker. So that's the thing. But I do think Havertz is now receiving more space because the defenders realize they have to pay attention to Felix because he's an immediate danger with the ball at his feet.
Of course, his quality, he dribbles. He's got that dribbling ability to carry the ball and allow us to transition quicker. But that's why I kept saying to you guys, when it comes to Kai Havertz, the best of getting that, the best of seeing of what we can see of Kai Havertz is allowing him to have a bit of a freedom role, so that he can run into these pockets of spaces and drive. And actually, even his decision making of prior games has been very good on the ball as well. You know, so Kai Havertz has the ability as well. There's like Kai Havertz does have ability, you know. Like the only thing with Kai Havertz is that obviously he had more time at Chelsea playing in my opinion, in a position that he's just not. I knew anyway he's just not going to be successful with, and so at the end of the day, he wasn't for me yesterday. The same of what we saw of Felix is a bit like Havertz. For me, Havertz disappeared in the second half, even though he scored the penalty. Yeah, which was a good penalty, by the way. And Pickford was giving it big to him the whole game. I was behind the thing. Pickford kept getting in his head. Like every time he had a shot or whatever, he was shouting at Havertz all the time. He was just picking on Havertz the whole time. So
you know why he disappeared out the game though, Jim, in the second half?
They both did.
Conor Gallagher substitution made the whole attack disappear out the game.
But he took Pulisic off, who stopped. So this is the thing, right? He took Pulisic off, who was being direct and running with the ball and didn't do too bad, right? He took Joao Felix off. So he took two of your players that are direct dribblers with the ball, that attract players, right? And you're right, it opens up space to Havertz. Then you throw Gallagher on. You took Pulisic off anyway, right? And then you throw Gallagher on for, was it Felix? Was it?
Who doesn't want the ball at his feet? Who doesn't want the ball at his feet? Let's just say that.
Exactly. So I always say this, when you bring Gallagher on in the second half, offensively, we're not the same. I said it against Leicester, and even though we went on to win it, yeah, and he done quite well, I don't think offensively we're as good. I think you kind of lose a player in the forward line. Does that make sense? Like, and then you're asking Havertz to do more of a job and Felix to do more of a job for the player that they had close to them, like they did in the first half. So I agree, the balance gets effective. But Kai Havertz, I'm just going to be very quick with it. I don't think he had an atrocious game. I don't think he had an awesome game. I just think he had an in-between.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing amazing about it, is the answer to that.
If this was a regular, like, to me, Kai Havertz over the last month, he's shown me something more than he's shown me. And it comes down to, like, mentality and just his application of how he's playing in the game. So yesterday, it wasn't his bad game, but I'm not going to get on Havertz today because I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he showed up. I think he was in the places where he needed to be. Like, it was just a mid game, you know. He didn't do anything spectacular. He scored the penalty, it was a high pressure penalty, you know. So I think he stepped up mentally, but it wasn't his best game. But I've seen way worse from Kai Havertz, so I'm with him right now.
Fez, anyone else got anything to say before we move on to Pulisic? No? Okay. Let's move on. Everyone stays quiet for the Havertz talk.
Well, I mean, what would they say that's any different?
Jam.
What is there going to be said that's any different from what I said before?
Can I just say something? That felt really nice, right? Like, after the last couple of months,
we're rocking with him right now.
Hearing quiet for Havertz, like no one jumping on. I want to talk about Havertz. I want to talk about Havertz. Let me eat him alive. You know, it was just quiet. It was just.
Jam, I'm over it. You talk about Havertz.
love that smile, Jim.
Yeah, I'm only winding these up. Christian Pulisic. Who wants to talk about him? Because I don't really have much to say other than he dribbled well.
Just a muted performance, man. Like, what could you possibly say about it? Like, he didn't really do anything spectacular, and he wasn't really poor. Like, there was opportunities where he could have done a little bit more in the build-up, but I mean, he's just, as you can tell, my household is busy right now, so let me just mute.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. No worries. Yeah, there's not much to really say, is there, about Pulisic, other than it was okay. You know, are you frustrated that Mudryk didn't come into the game? Any of yours, or?
Yeah, to be honest, I think Pulisic. I mean, I've always been one of the people who say, give Pulisic a run, but I truly believe maybe yesterday we should have just stuck with what was working, you know. I think maybe Mudryk should have started, or maybe I'm thinking Mudryk just because it's, you know, that confidence. We got a big win. He was part of the team. He played decently well. So, but I get it. Pulisic is better, you know, in those tight spaces and just control and movement and experience. So I get it, but the fact that we didn't get the full 3 points is now a talking point. You get it? So I don't know. To me, he can always do better. That's my thing with Pulisic. He can always do better, and it just doesn't happen.
I hear it. I want to move on to Graham Potter, because obviously, as much as we spoke about us being wasteful in front of goal in the first half, and then it sort of dragged out, obviously bad defending with to the goals, and Kepa having two nightmares, in my opinion, for both the goals and most of our opinions. Then it was Graham Potter to impact the game and see through potentially a 2-1 win. And he decides to bring on Carney, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Conor Gallagher, and Chalobah. Now, I showed you earlier on, I don't know if you were in, but I showed you earlier on Potter's substitutions over the last 3 games and tried to understand it from a tactical point why he made them decisions. And each and every one of them, barring Dortmund, which made sense because it was more of a like-to-like, was more of a way of just completely unbalancing us. Does that make sense? Which then invited pressure. And what happened yesterday? the same thing. The substitutions regressed us. We invited pressure, and the balance of the team completely went out the window. So, what do you want to say about Graham Potter, guys, on his performance yesterday?
I'm just gonna quickly weigh in because my kid's wilding right now. But I'm just gonna say this: none of the subs provided anything that the game needed. You know, like we didn't have anyone. We weren't looking to be more attacking. We didn't bring anybody on to be more defensive. And we also didn't bring anybody on to just manage the game and see the result out. So none of the subs made any sense to me. That was the biggest thing for me. We had a very inexperienced bench to begin with. And then, you know, when the game needs to be saw and you want to see guys be, you know, just you want to see experience on the pitch. He takes off your captain and then he brings on what did he bring? He brought on Ruben for Kovacic. And then the next move, he brings on Carney for Joao Felix. So all of those moves just didn't inspire the team. You know, it was just it felt like he was just giving guys opportunities to get a run out rather than trying to manage the game and see out the results. And for me, that's an indictable offense again with this manager. Like everything I saw in the substitutions just did not fill me with any sort of confidence that we're going to see out the match. It was just inexperience and no.
Is he gone?
Sorry, there's no game plan. I just
Is he
felt like
still
the
talking?
substitute. Yeah, Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry about
Now
that.
I can.
Yeah, there's just no game plan. It just felt like the substitutions came in and didn't really provide anything, whether it be offensively, defensively, or just, you know, pragmatically to just see out the results. So, you know, I don't think this guy has an understanding of how to like see out matches. You know, big games for a team like Chelsea that need a manager to just like see out the results. He's not it for me.
Umar with a donation. Thank you for the donation as always. We need Kovac, Enzo and Kante, please. Poor Potter management is what Umar's saying. Big up for the donation. Thank you very much for that. Who wants to go next on the Potter? Mr. Potter. Go on, AJ.
I mean, I'll just
wants to talk.
Yeah, go ahead. No matter. Go ahead.
Go on, Matic.
No, saying the fact that we are all at a point where we just pause and no one wants to talk. It's just an indictment of how we feel.
It's a sensitive
Like
subject.
a few weeks back, everyone will be like, but my point is, it has gotten to that point where even if he goes on, and I understand this, even if he ever goes on a 20-game winning streak, people will always be waiting for the other shoe to drop, because that game yesterday was winnable. I don't care what people say about Sean Dyche. I don't care what, that game was winnable. And when we were all in the GC and talking about it, everyone kept saying, manage the game, manage the game. It says so much that all of us in the group chat were just equally saying he needs to manage this game. And that's where he failed at. And he's been failing at that for the last couple of games, and we're not seeing any improvement. I get it, you can make mistakes, but you need to learn from them. And the problem is he just doesn't seem to be learning. And at this point, I don't want a manager that wants to be learning on the job. And that's the thing that is pissing me off. Like, you can make a mistake, that's fine, but you need to be learning from it. I don't need to see you making the same mistake. It's like now everyone knows, every manager looks at Chelsea and knows they go a goal up, immediately Gallagher will be coming on. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't get why he always brings it. In some particular games, I can understand what he's trying to do, but I don't get why he always removes an attacking player for a midfielder. I get it if we're being overrun in the midfield and all that, but it just seems like he's literally sitting there. There's literally kids right now who are sitting there and can be, oh, I need to do my coaching badges and be a manager, because he's really making it look very easy. In the 60th minute, he was putting on Gallagher. I swear in the next 5 years, there'll be a lot of coaches that will be saying I was inspired by Potter. It just doesn't make sense. And he's now pissing me off. I wasn't, even when, and you know that, I wasn't, there's no matter a few months ago. Yes, I was. Like, I don't get this thing with this fan base that you need to one up someone. Did I want Tuchel to be sacked? No. Did I want Potter to be the ideal replacement? No. Should I be one of these people that are on the internet or come here with Gem that constantly just shout Potter out without giving someone a
I don't
chance?
shout out Potter out. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying like I don't get why people really don't. You want, because next time you'll find something to complain about. J5 is out of the club, and everyone is already now. Some people are already out here trying to go onto Enzo. People are mad that Mount is out. People are mad that Mount is out.
Hell no, those people are crazy, bro.
I will roast them
because
wherever they are.
the fan base will just never be happy. It's like misery loves company. There's always someone who wants to be so miserable.
Even rival fans don't say
everyone
anything
with
about
them.
Enzo.
Oh my God, you've been on the wrong side of the internet. You've been on the wrong side of the internet. People are so, it's like you're not allowed to change your mind. It's like immediately you bring someone in. I'm just supposed to be, he's out.
Nah, those are little kids, man. I ain't listening to these little kids.
Yeah, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that.
I think the 5 of us here tried to give this manager a chance.
All you can do, right, is speak. All you can do is speak about what you're seeing. And if Potter's doing well, you haven't got an agenda. You're going to praise him, right? And if you feel that he done something which you wouldn't do yourself, you don't agree with, you're going to criticize him. So it's not flip flopping. It's literally commenting what you're seeing. Like
exactly.
That's it. Like I don't get it. It's
he
just
lost
Twitter
me,
thing,
and I said it. It's true, and he lost me, and I said it so many times in the group chat. He lost me after Nottingham Forest, where we drew, and he came out of a press conference and literally said, "Oh, it could have been so unfair on Nottingham if they lost this game because they were so good at the second half." What the fuck? Yes, they peppered us on the second half, but you don't have to come out and say that. What's wrong with you?
Can I just say one thing real quickly to these comments? Yeah, big up to Thomas though. Yeah, and it's not just you. I see it across social media, Twitter fans, right? None of us were built or brought into this world to fully understand what's going to happen in the future especially in the clubs that you support. All right, you can have an assumption at the time on something, but things can change, and you are allowed to change your opinion. Doesn't mean that you're a flip flop. All right, because you thought you felt a certain way at the beginning about something, and all of a sudden it deters to being the opposite. We moan about people having agendas and not accepting when things are not, when things are not right or not working, or one player's not playing well or a manager's not doing the job. Yeah, we moan about them having agendas and just being biased. But then when people do say, well, actually, after what I saw, I don't agree with this, that, and the other, it's like people always want to be right in football. None of us know. We just all
100.
People need to get that in their heads. We're all in this assuming. It doesn't make you a better, knowledgeable person because you know, but you think you know more than someone else. You don't. You just.
And the other thing is too. I just think that's just the politics of the day. Like everyone is just so polarizing. Like you have to be wrong and strong in your convictions, and any deviation from what you said, 300 days ago means that you're a flip flop and you don't know what you're talking about. This and that. When you get new information, your idea of what you see should change. It's just that simple. Exactly. It's not, like you stay with one opinion because you've been wrong and strong in it for that long. Like every day you get new information that formulates your opinion.
Yep. Yeah, and we want to be proven wrong. We want to be proven wrong by Potter.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Like,
please,
so,
I'm begging.
Man,
if Chelsea do well under Potter and we start challenging them, whatever, the ones that wanted him out are all going to back him. They're not flip-flops for it. It's because at the end of the day, we all are on the same team here. We want the best for Chelsea. We just think that without him and having someone different means that we get, that allows us to get closer to being to the top. Like, we have our own opinions on who we think's better in this first 11, who's the better manager, who's the better goalie, who's the better this. It's all opinion, of what we think's better. But at the end of the day, you can only judge on what you see. And that's done on a per game basis, and that's what I try and do, and a lot of these guys do as well.
Yeah.
So
my thing with Potter yesterday, the substitutions. You see, when you make a substitution, you want to see the impact that it has, like within that first 5 minutes, and like okay, the first I don't remember the order of substitutions, but I know the first sub was
Connor. Connor came on first
with Pulisic. At that moment. First of all, Potter has been using Conor Gallagher to shore up games, just get a little, try to, just strengthen us in the middle of the park. In that game yesterday, at the moment he took out Pulisic, were we losing the battle? Were we under pressure? Was there an issue with the team? Why Gallagher needed to come in and instead of another attacker?
I just think that Pulisic was only going to get 60, so they're going to have to bring somebody in for him.
That's fine. Okay. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But if Pulisic wants to get only 60, or why can't he bring in another attacker at that moment? Because Gallagher for that situation is not needed. Because we're not struggling in any area. We were actually on top of Everton. We were creating chances, chance after chance, creating half chances. I just don't understand at that moment. I have no problem with Gallagher coming on and shoring up the game. But at that moment yesterday in the 62nd minute, we need to be going for the second goal. We can't be shoring up the game and get 1-0 against Everton. We need to start killing the game. If you're shoring up the game 30 minutes to go, the mentality of the team is going to change. We're lucky we got the penalty. If we didn't get the penalty, that game would have ended 1-1. That's what would have happened because we weren't.
I don't know. This is where I have point of contention. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that we took our foot off the gas either. The things that this is again, and I know we had large discussions about this yesterday in the chat. I just want to touch on this one point.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Okay. Actually, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let. I'm just going to wait to hear this. I want to hear about what's his face, Brendan Rodgers. That's where I want to start. Bring in Brendan Rodgers.
Big up to Kazim, man.
Big up to you, Jim, man. Thanks for having me. Well, did you see my tweet though? Did you see my tweet, guys?
No, I haven't. To be with now, Matty's joining him as well. Jesus. Yeah.
Listen, I wanted to catch Matt, man. I wanted to catch Matt about Kibba, but
I dealt with him. Don't worry. He still defended him and gave him a 7, by the way, Kazim. I don't know.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you, bro. I just wanted to catch Matt, but he just ran away, isn't it? So I wanted to justify Kibba, bro.
Talk about the game yesterday. Go on. Just talk about you. Give us your thoughts on everything you saw.
Oh, bro, I predicted I'm gonna do wild stuff because people kill me. I do wild stuff. I'm gonna do wild stuff right now, right? That's what I'm good at. No, I predicted 1-1. I predicted 1-1. Chelsea to draw 1-1. And obviously, when Chelsea won the 3 games, I said, "God, Chelsea van gassed. The manager is not good enough. The squad is not good enough." And I even before we draw Real Madrid, I went to a football terrace and I said we're gonna go out from the quarterfinal. I didn't even if we got Benfica, we still I believe we're gonna go out. We're just not good enough. It starts from the goalkeeper, and I said it before and I'll say it again. He's not good enough to play for League One. And listen, you can doubt me because guess what, guys? As much as you want, I just ahead of the curve.
Kazim, I agree that Kepa's
bro.
Relax, but you go too far.
Wait, League One is come on. Let me finish, my guy. Let me finish, and after they can come back because you said I will do weed stuff. Okay. So let me finish, and you can come back to you, right? You can doubt as much as you want, guys, but I'm ahead of the curve. I know what's gonna happen, and I know exactly what. Honestly, I told you about Kepa. He's just not good enough.
I know that, but yeah,
he's just not good enough, my man. I heard some Chelsea YouTuber and fans saying we'll choose him as number 2. Which Liverpool have a goalkeeper, the Irish guy, he's in 30 grand a week. Manchester City, best team in the planet, he's got a goalkeeper. He's in second goalkeeper. He's got in 30 grand a week. How do you justify giving Kibba if you get number 1 next year, 160 grand a week? How do you justify that? But the issue with you guys, Chelsea fan, not all of them, not all of you. Except your mediocrity. So Q and team coming to fix up, man. I'm here to fix up. And you, I love you. Listen, Jim, you got to cut off with a Felix thing, my man. I love you, Jim, but Felix, bro, what is going on?
Listen, I've got my views on it, and I've explained it, and to this point, it's still no one can answer what I've said. What I've said against it. It's because it's true. So again, we move with the Felix thing. But let's go.
Now, Felix is. You need to understand. Felix is no number 9, so you can't trade Felix as a number 9, right? It's not.
I agree with that. But I agree with that. So, I've been saying.
Yeah. Jim, when you guys were sharing your thoughts about Potter, I literally just got home, so I didn't get to speak on him. But for me, the main problem I've got with him is me and AJ share the same thoughts around it, right? He doesn't have the cojones that are needed, right? Because when you're playing against a team like Everton, yesterday they had no striker, by the way. They had no striker. You had Coleman at the back, okay? You're really gonna tell me that you can't trust Mudryk to come on as a like-for-like sub for Pulisic and run at a Coleman who should be retired right now with Leighton Baines and coach him with Leighton Baines, right? I don't agree with that sub, the Conor Gallagher sub. Like, I get Gallagher played well, but for me, I would have gone like for like and tried to kill the game and get more attackers running at their defense, because at that point we were controlling the game. We had them pinned back, and when Gallagher came on, we were still controlling the game. But I feel that we could have gone for it. Connor's not an attacker. He's not an attacker. He's
Okay,
more
but
of a
Don,
more
what
of a
is Mudryk like thrive in? Space,
Mudryk,
right? So,
yeah,
space in behind, right? Were they playing a high line at any point in that game?
But hold on. You're looking at it too analytical. You're trying to overanalyze it.
That's what I do.
You're over. That's what I said. That's what I said to you yesterday. It's like football at times is literally 1, 2, 3. Like, you tell Mudryk, you keep running at him. You keep running at him. That's
you keep running at him. Okay, so what did Pulisic do against Coleman?
But Pulisic and Mudryk are they're different players. They're different players.
Okay, but you said you want somebody in tight spaces, and you want somebody that can control the ball and manipulate the ball correctly. And Pulisic is that guy. He wasn't able to do that yesterday.
No. Mudryk is more. I would say with Mudryk, he can get in behind, and up against Coleman, I reckon he could have done something yesterday. Gallagher played well when he came on, but I wouldn't have gone for that sub. I would have gone like for like. I would have brought an attacker off in Pulisic and brought an attacker on for Mudryk. Everton were there for the taking. I'm sorry, Everton are poor. They're a poor team.
But even with that said, even with that said, though, the game went from 1-0 to 1-1 to 2-1. We were still in the ascendancy. It's not like the game changed when you bring on Conor Gallagher. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Like, it's,
what I'm saying is, it goes to my point about the cojones. He was not brave enough to bring another attacker on. He doesn't trust Mudryk at the moment for whatever reason, whether that's training, whether that's the tactics. He doesn't trust him. I would have put Mudryk on. The game yesterday was calling for a player like Mudryk. Gallagher was not that man to come on at that point. I'll be honest with you. And I haven't disagreed when he's brought Gallagher on the past few games, because I felt that was the right sub to make because it's worked. But for me yesterday, Conor was not that person to bring on at that point. If you want to see out the game, Gallagher could have come on a little bit later. But for me, I would have gone like for like. And so, if Mudryk didn't do anything, cool, fair enough. But for me, I would have gone like for like. I'll be honest.
Super chat from Fat saying, Kaz, would you please elaborate to the panelists on views about Thiago Silva is the problem? Do we have to do this, Fat? We've done this so many times. Bro,
come on. Let me. I'm gonna use this analogy. Let me kill this right now. Right? What's Thiago Silva? Okay. Because people misquote me, and I heard there's some YouTubers coming in there and have a little dig and stuff. I'm fine with that. Listen, Thiago Silva over the years has been a fantastic player. When I spoke about Thiago Silva, Jim, and I know you're a big fan of Thiago Silva, he's been a brilliant player. Let me address this once and for all, guys. I never ever said Thiago Silva is a bad player. Never said that. I said going forward to challenge and to compete. That's my key words. Thiago Silva is not the man. And I'll give you an example. And I said that before, and I'll say it again one more time. Manchester United with Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo, to a lot of fans, he's the GOAT. Not to me. Messi's the GOAT to me. But just let me finish, guys. You understand exactly what I'm trying to say here. To a lot of fans worldwide, Cristiano Ronaldo is a GOAT. And guess what? Cristiano Ronaldo last year was Manchester United best player, and he was a top scorer. Ten Hag came in, and he said to Cristiano Ronaldo, direct or indirect, he said, listen, my man, you're not the man for me. You're not the man for my philosophy and my system. He's got the Sancho, he's got Anthony, and he's got Rashford. Right? And guess what? All United fans exactly done what you're doing right now, guys. How dare you? He's our best player. Blah, blah, blah. And guess what? The manager didn't fancy him. Don't fall for that interview, because the interview come later. Ronaldo was frustrated because the manager not rating him. And what happened after that? Cristiano Ronaldo's gone because he's not in the new manager's plan. Considering who was year before who was United best player and United top scorer. My point I'm trying to say is in future, in order for us to win the league, Thiago Silva has been great. Yes, he is. Right? Because I heard a lot of YouTubers saying he's our best player by far. And I'm like, we heard that was Cristiano Ronaldo, guys. Going forward to win the league.
He's our most consistent. But yeah, go on.
Hans, I'm sorry.
In order.
No. That's so much waffle coming out of your mouth.
Okay,
I can't even let it go, man. Come on, man. You're my friend.
Oh, who's speaking? Who's that?
It's Alex.
you-
Alex.
Alex.
man. No,
Let me
no,
finish.
no.
Alex, let me finish.
Oh,
Alex,
fuck,
let
man.
me
I can't
finish.
let you finish, man.
No,
I
you
can't
can't.
let you finish.
Alex, you know, on the channel, in another channel, bro, you showed me up. Alex, you came to my channel and I said Felix is not good player, bro. So you just don't talk about Waffle, bro.
Felix is not a good player.
Bro. You came to my channel, Alex. You came to my channel and said, Felix, bro, relax. You said Felix is not a good player. I came to my channel and said that, bro. So relax. I need you to relax, bro. So
Did the guy hit the post like 50 freaking times? Before he
my
scored?
guy.
And
My guy.
You're
Just
not gonna
relax.
defer the conversation between Thiago Silva to what I said about what's his name? About
Joao
Felix.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
No,
com-
you
you're not
literally
divert
came
it.
in and he said Felix is not a good
Yes,
player in my
that-
channel, my
is
guy.
that the I can have the conversation with
So
you
no,
about
no,
Felix.
I'm just saying you cannot say that.
No,
You're waffling now, bro. You can't say
God,
Felix is not a player. You cannot do that, bro.
You
So
see,
let me finish.
no, that's not
Wait,
what I'm
let's
saying.
stay on track. Let's talk about
Why
Silva.
are
Let's talk
you
about
trying
Silva.
to divert the
Let's talk about Silva.
conversation?
So my
Why
point,
are-
I'm saying,
I need
going
some
forward
popcorn.
with Thiago Silva. Listen, I never said Thiago Silva is a bad player, and I never said the reason we're losing because Thiago Silva. I never said that. So
Thiago
going
stopped
forward,
that play last night before Cool.
the reason we're not gonna win the league with Thiago Silva because I heard someone say the base is not important, man. It's just that's done it for me.
Wait. Why
You
is
see,
why
you
is
see
the
what-
reason us
there-
winning the
there's
league
there's
being
no there's no
Yeah.
merit there is no merit behind this statement or behind this any kind of conversation.
Explain, Alex. Explain.
Compare it's not explainable. That's the problem. It's not explainable.
No. Now you're waffling. You got to justify my statement right now. I just told you Ronaldo been a top scorer and he's been best players, right? And the manager just to want him out. And now you say he's not. You got to explain, bro. You got to explain.
There's a lot more good.
Why are you comparing?
No. I want to hear it from
Wait.
Alex.
Yeah,
Alex
let-
think
okay,
is a big
all right,
point.
okay.
No, listen. Relax. It's between me and Alex. Alex
Sounds
think
like
is a
a-
big point.
sounds
So
like a-
let me now. What him
One
saying.
second. One second. Let Alex go. But I've already explained 300 times.
You're giving all us a headache.
So many times
Jesus.
to why Thiago Silva is more. Of
I
what
already
he's
explained to you, my man. Explain
Go
to
on,
you.
Alex,
He's not the
go.
guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Go on, Alex. Go.
Look, Kazim, I think I hurt your feelings by said what I said, but believe me, if you will start any poll anywhere in the world for what you said, it's gonna be left at. But I will explain it to you. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Please do, my man.
Versus Thiago Silva.
Yeah, please do.
You think that what's his name? That we building a team and building the games around Thiago Silva. That's your point. That's your problem. Nobody's doing that. Thiago Silva is not a being built team around him. That's the problem. With Cristiano Ronaldo, the team was supposed to be built around him.
No.
Right?
No. You're wrong. I have to stop you here. You're wrong.
Okay.
Right, I tell you why you're wrong. Do you want to explain why you're wrong? That's the problem, Alex.
No, I don't.
I tell you why, Alex. Listen, bro. No, I'm gonna say it straight to you, man. I'm not gonna say it behind your back. I'm gonna say you're waffling too much, bro. The problem is you're talking, Alex. I tell you why.
Where's the popcorn?
I tell you why you're waffling, Alex. Because unfortunately, it's bad news for you, bro. Because you're speaking to the wrong man. When it comes to football is my field. I tell you why. United go. Yeah, I explain to you why now. United give Ronaldo 2 years contract, so he's not the man to build the team around him. He's 38 years old. What are you talking about, right? The new manager came in, Ten Hag. Okay, the reason actually United got Ronaldo because City linked with him. They were desperate, bro. They had to get him before City. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Why are you talking about Ronaldo?
No. Don't. You relax, my guy. Just relax. I'm addressing Alex. Alex thought he's a big boy, so I got to watch it back today. Right? So, no, come on, Jim, bro. Allow me.
Carry on, bro. Carry on.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly about building Team United around Ronaldo. I think you're waffling. I tell you why. Because the entire narrative is Ronaldo linked with City, United panicked, gone there, got him for 2 years contract and 500 grand a week, right? That's what it's all about. So now the new manager came in, Ten Hag, right? He's got philosophy. We know that from Ajax. He's got a system. He's got a style of play. Unfortunately for Ronaldo, considering it was United top scorer and best player year before, he said, "You're not the guy for me. You're holding the entire team. You're ruining my philosophy. You've got to go." That's why he was
The
benching him
whole
left, right, and
covers
center.
the whole thing. I'm not saying
Has
the
him. I'm gonna be
narrative
honest.
And
of
you're
Ronaldo.
equating that
Hold
to
on a
Thiago
second.
Silva?
No,
You're
One second.
equating
I'm
that to
not.
Thiago Silva?
Hold on a second.
I don't get that.
I'm not comparing apples to
You did.
oranges. That's the problem. That's the problem. You put in the wrong person just because he's old and he has a big status. That's
Yep.
what you're doing. You're not using narrative of what Thiago Silva is at Chelsea versus what Cristiano at United. There's nothing the same about it. That's the problem. The whole problem. What I said, it was waffling from you, because it's not because you're not right about Ronaldo. You're right about Ronaldo, but it's put an example of Ronaldo versus example of Thiago Silva to prove your point. That's a bunch of waffle I ever heard in my life.
Why? Tell me why.
I just
You not
told
give me
you.
still the why. You still not give me the
I
why
just
though.
told you, because example of Ronaldo, it's not working as example of Thiago Silva.
Why? Still why?
Because you don't build the team around Thiago Silva.
No, Relax now, second, guys. Listen, I can take you all in. I have no problem with that. I have no issue. You
Turned
still
up,
not
bro.
telling me why. Now, let me come to Alex now.
Alex is the one second, Cash.
Alex
Before
is
you
a
go-
smoking
before you
guy,
continue,
innit?
'cause I haven't got long. I've got to go Chris Brown. I've still got to go to Chris
All
Brown.
right, okay.
But
All right.
I haven't got long.
A minute.
Look,
I actually
let me
Jim,
just say this one thing before you continue, right? I got a lot of respect for you. You know that, right? And
I know,
listen,
and I have time for you.
and we've
Same thing,
gone.
Kazim. Don't think I don't respect you. I just think your
Yeah.
example is so weird.
And we've gone back and forwards. I've given you my reasons on Thiago Silva.
Yeah, you
compared
do,
to
and
your
I
reasons.
respect it, bro. I
You know
respect
that.
it.
I ain't gonna go through that again because I've done it already. But this what Alex is saying to you, this meaning of using the Ronaldo meaning to back the point against Thiago Silva, I can't get my head around it. I don't.
Well, let me
understand.
explain then, my guy.
Oh my God!
That's
You've
what I'm
been
saying.
explaining it
Because-
for the.
Because you're asking us to counter what you're saying, but
No.
I don't understand. Wait, let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
You're asking me to counter what you're saying or explaining in regards to Ronaldo, yeah. But I don't understand it. That's the point. I don't get what you're trying to
It's not
use.
I tell you, Jim. I tell you exactly
That's
why you
what I'm
don't
trying to
understand, bro.
say.
I tell you
Yeah.
why you don't understand. Because the narrative of Ronaldo as a striker and Thiago Silva as a defender, that's why you don't understand. I said to you, it's a similarity of age, similarity of legendary,
Okay.
and actually, Ronaldo was a bit younger, and Ronaldo's a goat to a lot of people.
But that's the problem.
Wait, Alex, wait. I'm explaining, so I need to be. We're all in the same base, guys. So we'll kill this once and for all. Because guess what? I am the goat, guys. Trust me, I tell you. Everything I say, I mean it.
Stop it.
Stop
being
I mean
stupid.
it. So let me
Stop
explain
doing
one more
things like
time. No. Let me explain one more
Oh
time.
my God!
Now,
Yeah, but you don't need to say you're a goat. We're all Chelsea fans, mate. Come on.
Yeah,
we're all
I mean, listen, bro. I'm just Jim. Listen, I love you. You know how I got respect for you, Jim. You know that.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes with my conversation, I have a banter. You don't have a banter. I joke, right? But I'm just, unfortunately for you lot, I'm just ahead of the curve. That's why it is, right? Alex, let's go back.
Don't be the curve, bro. Don't be the curve. I need to know what
That's
the
a
curve
bin.
Next topic.
That's not a
Be the
curve.
curve. What
That's
are we
not a
talking
curve.
about?
That's a blind side.
No,
man.
but guys, run outside.
You've
Run
got us
outside.
all
Come on. Guys.
blindfolded, going around in the blimmin' light. We don't know where we're going. I'm like, what's going on?
Guys, I'm only kidding. Come on. I have a banter with my conversation. I'm only joking.
Listen, yeah, I hear you. Like, I ain't
first of
going
all-
to sit here and talk about Thiago Silva too much because I haven't got long anyway. I want to go back quickly to Potter before I finish up because I've got to leave in 5 minutes. Alex, Potter, tell me.
I think the guy is out of depth.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
wrong manager for the Chelsea. I don't care who, like, you can nitpick individual players. I don't care about that. I just care about that the guy literally killed the game. He parked the bus. He's tried to park the bus with a team that is like how you say it, the manager that only still survived in the Premier League of parking the bus, which is the another like the redhead, how you say it, freckled guy
Sean
of all
Dyche.
fraud.
Yeah.
Sean Dyche.
Sean Dyche.
Like how you park in the bus at home versus this guy. It was questionable. It was questionable substitutions 3 games ago. It's not even questionable. We just knew that it was gonna be a matter of time. With that substitution will not work. We're in a control.
I just
of
think
the
he went
game.
inexperienced. It was just an inexperience. So everyone that he
It's
brought
not
on
an
was
it's
inexperienced.
not an experience. It doesn't matter about the sub. It doesn't matter about anything. The guy choose to go 2-1 and park the bus on the 60th minute.
But who's
or
part?
7th.
This is what I don't understand.
No, he didn't
1-0,
park the
1-0.
bus.
Just
Alex,
hold on a
when
second.
did he
Hold on a
park the
second.
bus?
I just
No,
want
no,
to quickly.
no. That's what I'm saying.
Just one
He's
second,
like-
Alex. Just one second. Just one
Oh my
second.
god.
Just one second. Parking the bus with Gallagher, with Chukwuemeka, with Ruben
No.
Loftus-Cheek,
I
and
agree.
and Chalaba. Look, those guys aren't parking the bus.
Yes.
Like if you want to park the bus, you're gonna bring on
That's
content.
my
if you
problem.
ask me.
That's the thinking of him. He thinks that this is the getting control of the midfield.
No, I
That's
didn't
what
think that
he-
at all.
Oh,
There's
I-
three.
I'm
No,
not
he's saying
saying
that's
you.
what Potter. That's what
I'm
Potter
saying
did.
Potter thinks that.
Alex using the wrong word. They parking the bus because this
You know
player is
what?
No,
what
it-
word?
there are-
Fucking
Alex,
No,
shit.
no,
Alex,
Just-
man. I want to
he's
hear
thinking
that.
forward.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
I don't-
No.
Again,
do-
to the people
yeah,
on a broken bus in the back. What I'm saying, this is what Potter thinks. But Potter thinking that he will bring those extra midfielders, he will get a control of the midfield. In reality, that's what we see. Where's the park in the bus or control on of the midfield happened ever when you bring those players? Is that what you wanted to hear, Couch? That's what I'm saying.
No,
Right,
I'm saying this. If you want to park the bus, you
Oh
bring on Conte for me to kill the game. You keep Kovacic on the pitch. Like he brought on a bunch of inexperienced players. That was a
Kovacic-
mistake for me.
Kovacic was getting frustrated with Koulibaly.
I saw
Koulibaly
that.
was getting frustrated because he was put in a position where he shouldn't be.
Yeah, but when you're trying to see out a match, you need your senior players who understand how to manage the game. And he brought on a bunch of inexperienced kids.
and again. So what is the senior players doing? Players like Blondmount, what's senior about him? Chukwuemeka, what's senior about him? And Robin Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, that's
What's
exactly my
senior
point.
about those players?
That's exactly my point.
I just said he used the Koulibaly. He used the Koulibaly to fix the problem with Fofana, right? That's what you say. That's what he tried to do.
He used Koulibaly to fix Fofana? What?
Yeah, Fofana got injured.
You mean
Yeah, and then he
Chalaba,
brought on
Chalaba,
Chalaba.
Chalaba.
Yeah, was Chalaba where?
He was on the
Yeah,
left.
but that's right. That
On the
Chalaba.
right side.
Let me come
Chalaba,
in,
what
let me come in,
position of?
Alex.
Oh my
Alex,
god!
1 second. Actually,
Bye.
I have to
cannot
agree with Couch,
finish my
Mark.
sentence.
No,
I'll
no,
see you
Alex,
later.
Alex. 1 second, bro. Let me say 1 second. I have to agree with. Listen, barking the bus is the wrong word you're using, bro. Because what's his name? What's his guy that he came to the sub? What's his name? That
Gallagher.
Gallagher is not. He's an attacker more or less. He's a number 8. He cannot stay. He cannot defend. There's no barking in the bus. That's the wrong word you're using, bro. Same with another sub as well, right? If you want to bark in the bus, bro, right? You have to get players like Kanti. I agree, because you have to take not Enzo Fernandez, another guy, and you have to play fives in the back. That's called barking in the bus. That's why Everton came in was a blind barking in the bus. But you saying he tried to bark in the bus with Gallagher, that's not the right word, my man. I have to agree with
Yeah, he's not okay. He's not parking the bus. He's not parking the bus in terms of parking the bus and just sitting back, low block, defending. What he's doing with Gallagher, though, is trying to shore up the midfield. That's really what it is. He's trying to add an extra body into the midfield area. Now, if you watch the flow of the game, he's been okay. Before that, the past 3-4 games, he's been using that tactic to strengthen our midfield, to essentially make us stronger defensively. But if you watch the game yesterday, he made that sub, but Gallagher was in the final third for most of the second half. So what's the point of bringing on Gallagher to strengthen the midfield when he's in the attacking third most of the time? You just bring on a like-for-like attacker so they can continue the threat that's been happening throughout the game up until that point. But when you don't do that and you bring on somebody who's not good with the ball at their feet. Their just awareness, their movement and their execution in the final third in the front three is not there. Gallagher is a third man runner or a central midfielder. That's the problem, and that's why it didn't work out. It's not parking the bus.
I don't necessarily agree with that aspect. I don't think that bringing on Gallagher killed the game for us or
At
killed
that
the rhythm
moment,
of the
it did.
flow. I don't think it did, actually, to be honest,
did.
because we were still very much. They scored on a set piece from there, right? It wasn't Gallagher that lost the game.
No,
at this
but we
point.
didn't
I
score.
thought
We didn't create.
we
That's
did
the
score
problem.
again. We did score again, and we were creating again. Though.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
but
trying to say. We scored again after that.
We scored a
Matty-
penalty. Yeah.
Sorry, is Matt, because I need to go, guys. I went to leave 10 minutes ago, but Matty's here.
Oh,
He's
okay.
obviously-
Sorry, guys.
Matty, what are you saying?
Do you know what? It's not worth it. I know I'm right. Let's fight between ourselves about which Thiago Silva or Cristiano Ronaldo was built for a team. Let's talk about that. You know, I know I was right. Let's move on.
Another one that wants to be right all the time, you know?
Well,
Mr. Matty.
have I been proven wrong yet?
No, you haven't. Is the answer.
Thank you.
That.
Thank you.
What I
Bang
would
the gavel.
say about Matty is he's been consistent. He's been consistent. I can't.
Yeah, but Matty, you've got an agenda though. You've had an agenda from day one. You're
No.
not going to big him up. You didn't want him from the beginning.
Hold on.
right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were that
Hold on.
way, but I can tell that you didn't want him from the beginning.
Don. When he puts a trophy in front of me and he gets top 4, which is my standards for this football club, then I'll beg him up. But winning 3 trophies, which is 9 points practically, isn't really going to make a difference, quite frankly. So at the end of the day, it's his job to win games. It's his job to get to get those. At the end of the day, I don't care if the team performs well, great, as long as we're winning, right? That's the whole point of this. This is the whole point of an elite sport, is to win the games to then win the trophies. So at the end of the day, at least I'm staying consistent. As long as he is at the club, I want 100%, not only from the players, because the players have got to take some responsibility for that game, right? But the minute that Ellis Sims came onto that pitch, you knew they were after an equaliser. So what did he do? He took most of the attacking players off, like Felix, and we were left with Havertz, right?
It's 2 back foot, man.
You know, yeah. No. You should be thinking, hold on a minute, let's close the game off. Let's put some attacking players on. But he didn't.
There we go. That's my point.
So that's the game management.
He relies on the defense, because our defense, let's be serious, has been quite good, isn't it? Really.
The question I've got for him, Jem, is how long is he gonna keep putting his handbrake up? Because he's built enough confidence the past few games. We're not a mid-table team. We're a big club.
No, we're not.
You've built enough confidence now to actually take that handbrake off and go for it. And he's not doing it. Do you get it? So
yeah, and that's the question marks of his man management, right? Which is
I know you've got to go.
I agree with that 100%. 100%. I'm just not necessarily sure. The Gallagher thing is the only thing that I had a problem with. That I didn't have a problem with. I don't care that he came on and just to run around a bit. The problem I had was the subs that came after that. Like, it was just like, what are you doing here? You got to see out the game now. How are you seeing out the game?
But
And he
don't you
brings on
think
players that are
Gallagher would have fit
inexperienced.
better in the later subs? Don't you think that?
Exactly. That's my point. I've got.
It's possible. It's possible. But you guys keep saying that we're going to stay with an attacker. Mudryk is not tactically aware enough yet. Like, we saw that already. And you're saying bring on Mudryk, bring on Mudryk. What you guys are hoping for is to see Mudryk start finding form. That's what we're talking about.
It's
Sorry?
overthink. I think we overthink it a bit too much. Just put
that's my point. That's my point. Overthinking it.
Just play the attacker. We're
I don't agree with that. When 3 points are on the board,
Let's save it, because we're going to do a show. We're going to come back.
I think we got to do this again tomorrow, because this is a point of contention.
No, we have to.
We'll continue the show tomorrow. I'll just do an open Chelsea show, and we'll just talk about management support and stuff. We'll go back to that tomorrow. It's just because I haven't got the time. It's 2 hours in. We're 2 hours and 8 minutes in already for the show. Big up to you guys. Yeah. Matty might change his view on Graham Potter if he lifts the Champions League. Who knows? If he lifts the Champions League, he can change his thing.
Don Collier.
I've got to shoot. We're back tomorrow. We'll continue this. Yeah, we'll start digging into what Don said, and Cal has got to say, and Matty if he wants to come back, and the Madik if she's around, and Enzo as well, AJ. But yeah, big up. Enjoy yourselves. We'll be back very soon. Take care, guys. See you later.